Big up every single one of you. And to start off this show, we got a raid. So big up to Carefree Lewis for the raid. Always appreciate it. Thank you so much to every single one of you who are tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff that you guys enjoy doing in the chat and all that stuff. Well, helps us out tremendously as well. By subscribing, you help us achieve our goal or get closer to achieving our goal of getting that 5K subscriber mark. So help us get closer into that. Also, be sure to smash up the like button because it does help the YouTube algorithm tell everyone else that, hey, there's a good channel out here talking about Chelsea. It's a 3-hour long podcast format, and you get all your news condensed in that 3 hours and good banter, good panel, all that fun stuff. So yeah, definitely smash up the like button so that more people can discover the show. And last but not least, check out the memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. Links in the description for other content as well as the Bridge Nation and other people that come on the panel regularly. And leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts on everything we're discussing. So, a few things to discuss. Obviously, we didn't do a review of Flamengo Chelsea. We will do that very briefly. I'm sure you guys already let out all your frustrations and vented out all the, things that you did not like about the game. But I had a vlog where I discussed it. I was also fucking drunk as a motherfucker, but that's besides the point. Didn't look it, by the way. I hide it really well. But also, yeah, this gives us a chance to give more of a reaction as well in hindsight. But before we do that, I do want to quickly just kind of go over what's been going on in the Club World Cup since the last time we spoke. So last time we did a stream, we saw Atletico Madrid pack out the Seattle Sounders. And then later that night, the biggest upset of the tournament yet, which is Botafogo 1, PSG 0. Benfica absolutely demolishing Auckland. This the one team that unfortunately just has been no match for any team in this tournament. And that's going to be Auckland City. Flamengo getting their 3-1 victory, an upset against Chelsea. Tunis 1-0 against LAFC. Bayern in a very close match against Boca Juniors. These Boca Junior fans have turned up. It's absolutely been ridiculous to see the atmosphere that these guys have made. Chelsea fans can learn a thing or two. But, yeah, Bayern just nicking a win, 2-1 against Boca. Mamelodi Sundowns losing 3-4 in an absolute goal fest between Dortmund and themselves. Inter Milan, Urawa Reds, 2-1. Urawa put on a good fight for that one. Fluminense beating Ulsan 4-2. River Plate and Monterrey staying at 0-0 with a last-minute send-off in that game, which I caught glimpses of it yesterday as well. And Juve earlier today, Yildiz FC, man. Yildiz FC. Yildiz watch and Kolo Muani watch, which we'll discuss Kolo Muani later today as well. And then the match just finished up. Real Madrid down to 10 men in 7 minutes from a very, very silly Asensio last minute foul or last man foul, getting himself sent off, jeopardizing the team. But honestly, Real Madrid, second half, and even in the chances they had in the first half, didn't really look like they were 10 men down. Let's just be honest. But yeah. I guess I'll start off with the Real Madrid game because I just watched that, or at least most of it, and the quality was definitely shown. Pachuca had most of the opportunities, more opportunities than Real Madrid, but unfortunately they just don't have the quality. They do not have the quality to finish. Courtois absolutely also putting on a clinic in terms of saves. So Courtois was phenomenal, as he usually is for Real Madrid. And yeah, it was just Real Madrid did not look like they were down to 10 men at all. So yeah, it was kind of a clear mismatch in that sense. But you know, don't get too flattered by the scoreline. Although Real Madrid won 3-1, Pachuca had many chances to get ahead of the game. Rondon also missing opportunities. Ex-Everton player now over at Pachuca. And yeah, I thought that was a pretty good match. Been a lot of good matches in this group stages as well. Scott, what games did you watch that caught your eye? I mean, probably the Botafogo game, to be honest.
No, I wasn't awake for that. What games did I watch? I actually can't remember what games I watched.
Did you watch Boca Bayern?
Yeah, I don't know.
No. I watched the first half of the River Plate Monterrey game yesterday. I watched the LAFC Tunis game yesterday, or Friday, sorry. That's pretty much it, actually. I watched, obviously, the Atletico Madrid Seattle Sounders game, because obviously we were doing a stream at the same time as that was on, and then watched the rest. But yeah, outside of those and obviously the Chelsea game, I actually haven't been watching too much. Like, I didn't watch any of the games from today. Oh, no, I watched a little bit of the Real Madrid game today. I turned it off after they went 2-0 up. Outside of that, I haven't really watched too much else.
It has been a little difficult to catch some of these games when you got the work day and all that stuff. The weekend's a little easier for me. I did catch the Juve game as well. Yildiz, man, this guy's the real deal. This guy is the goals that he scored and the quality of goals. Obviously, we know that Wydad AC or Casablanca, I believe that's their actual full team name. I know they're not as big of a club, or they're not going to challenge that much a Juve side. But regardless, when you look at the quality of goals, how he set up, how he played, Yildiz, man, he was very impressive. Very impressive. Pretty much caused the first own goal, and then the 2 goals that he scored, the brace that he got, easily man of the match. Wow. There's a good player there for sure that, you know, there are links to Chelsea. Hopefully we do get that across and something can happen with this player. Again, I don't want to be Links FC or Talent ID FC or Scouting FC. Let's get negotiations done, FC. If there is an interest for Yildiz, hopefully it can get done and it can be quick. Kolo Muani, another one that was involved in the game. Not as much as Yildiz was, but still involved in the assist for Yildiz for one of them. I unfortunately didn't get to watch the Boca and Bayern game, but I heard that game was really, really good. I didn't even get to watch the highlights yet. Chris, did you watch any of these games this weekend?
I'm pretty sure I don't think I watched all of it, but like the Dortmund game, I think that's it.
The Dortmund game, the 4-3 against Mamelodi Sundowns?
Where, sorry, no, the Dortmund game against Thiago Silva's, not his team, but like...
Oh, I was there in person. I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it.
Oh, really? Yeah,
man, I got tickets last minute. It was cool.
I think that was on Channel 5. I just haven't got set up with the zone properly yet, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
No, like, yeah, I think that's the only game I watched. It's just seeing Thiago Silva keep a clean sheet at his age as well. So it's impressive, so...
No,
yeah.
he was phenomenal.
I probably should have watched more games, but like, no, I haven't.
No, there's good games, and even later today, Al Hilal Salzburg is going to be a good game. Pretty even matchup there. I'm expecting Man City to, I'm expecting Man City.
I will be there for a lot more knockout games though. When the knockouts come out.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is the final. Yeah, this is the last of the second match day group stages.
Oh yeah, today's last. I thought you could say it's the last match day.
No. And then next week we finalize all the groups pretty much. I think the only Bayern are the only team that have qualified. Nope. There's another team.
Flamengo have qualified. In fact, Flamengo are the only team that have their matchup confirmed.
Just transition into this.
Yeah, I had a look. Well, let me see if anything has changed, because obviously with the with what's knocking out.
I think Juve qualified today, right? With that win.
Well, no. When I say Flamengo, like there are teams that have qualified. Like obviously Bayern, Juve. Flamengo is the only team that have guaranteed what game they're playing in. They are guaranteed to finish first.
Oh, they're guaranteed.
They're the only team that's guaranteed. Yeah, they're the only team, so they will be playing. I think it's the runner-up of Group C on the 29th of June at 9 UK time. That's guaranteed.
Yeah, wow. I think this is time for us to get into this match reaction. Okay. I mean, Chris, did you watch the game?
You know, why do we hear from you, mate? Why do we hear from you? Because you were in the stadium. So, you know, let's hear actually from the man.
I mean, you want me to start off? I mean,
yeah, let's hear from the guy. Of course I did, but I think the streets want to still hear your view.
Boys, we were outnumbered. we were outnumbered. The Flamengo fans showed up in droves. I think for every Chelsea fans, there were 8 or 10 more Flamengo fans. Like, it was insane. Like, if you look at the vlog, me and Jimmy pretty much sat together, and we met CB there. Big up CB. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, go ahead and check that out. He was doing a live stream for the whole thing, and you can see me in the live stream. We all hung out and met up, but there was very few Chelsea fans there. Obviously, it's a Friday. It's a 2 p.m. kickoff. It is what it is in terms of the attendance. It's been a whole disaster from many different angles as to why. But in terms of the fan base being there, it just wasn't enough. Like, listen, I've been to preseason games where that stadium is filled with Chelsea fans and it's a sold out stadium. So it's not a matter of if there's Chelsea fans in Philly or in the States. It's just a matter of timing, promotion. People don't know what this tournament is, yada, yada, yada. So there's just so many other factors. But being there in person, I'll say from what I saw from my point of view, Flamengo completely shut us down in terms of how creative we were going to be. I think there's two factors to that. One, it's going back to what we said against LAFC, which is we need to change up on the wingers. Like, we need to freshen up there. We need to, and people are going to laugh at the fact that I'm going to say like, oh, we need to spend more money. Yeah, well, unfortunately, our best winger right now is Pedro Neto. He scored 2 games, 2 goals in this tournament. He's been the most effective. He's been the one that getting the goals, getting the assists, creating the chances. Nani's not doing it. He didn't play yesterday. Cole Palmer was pretty much playing on that right wing that game as well. And so anyone saying like, oh, we got to try Palmer on the right, I'm getting tired of saying this, but I'm going to say it again. Palmer, and make of this what you will, right? Palmer, I'm noticing, to get the best of him, or at least get him back to that Pochettino season, with Cole Palmer, you need to put him back in a style of play that causes chaos, that is quick and causes chaos. Because when you look at the season we had under Pochettino, we were very chaotic. And in terms of not only just defensively, offensively as well. We caused a lot of chaos to the opposition team. When you look at the majority of the goals that he scored last season, they were from moments of disorganized defense, chaos, counterattacks. Same thing under Poch. And with this player, unless, and that goes against what Maresca wants, right? Maresca wants a controlled game. He wants to find the opportunities when they arise and strike from there. It's not chaotic. It's going against what we saw made the best of Palmer in that Pochettino season. So going back to the Flamengo game, he was playing on that right wing. It doesn't matter what position he's playing. It's just not, this system may not get the best of him. it may force him to change his way of playing to be one of more creativeness, one of just build up play, and not one of, you know, scoring goals like we're used to, or getting the assist all the time, which he has been getting assists. But Delap had a few great moments. He was quiet for the most part. We were just controlled that whole game. Like, they controlled us for the most part. And listen, Malo Gusto. There's a lot that needs to be said about Malo Gusto, man. And he is now becoming a liability in terms of defensively and offensively. Like, he's just not. He had some moments in that game in that first half offensively, but defensively, he's just been a liability now. And it's just getting to the point where, how long are you going to try to trust this player to get a job done before you decide to just bench him for, you have Acheampong. It doesn't have to be Reece James. Like, I don't care so much that Reece James played in the midfield. I genuinely don't. Like, all this talk about Santos, Asugo, whatever the hell, oh, in hindsight, the manager should have done this, that, A, B, or C. Who cares? At the time when that lineup came out, I was okay with it. You know, I was questioning what the hell's going on with Gusto, but I was thinking, okay, you know what? We should be good enough to beat Flamengo with this team. And it didn't happen. Felipe Luis set up in a great way that controlled the midfield, controlled the game more than we could control the game. We weren't creating chances. The chance that came from Neto came from an error from the Flamengo defense, and he took advantage of it. And yeah, any opportunity that we had, which were very few, we couldn't do anything with it. And so going to the game, the goals we conceded, duplicate same goal pretty much. Two of those goals were the same exact goal, and you know, crossing it from the left to the right side and then tapping it in. And Malo Gusto's liable for two of them. He's just got to do better. Nicholas Jackson's another one too that, again, obviously in person I didn't see what happened, but it was a direct red. There was no hesitation for it, so I was convinced that, okay, whatever it was, they'd even check VAR. The referee was quick about it. Whatever it was a bad tackle. I saw it live. I saw it on the replay afterwards. My dude, what the fuck were you doing? Even if you wanted to step on the ball, surely you don't have to lift your foot up that high. It was such a ridiculous foul to do. Like, I don't think any Jackson fan or any remnants of a Jackson fan in this fan base is going to look at that and try to defend it or even say it was a mistake. Like, my dude, you need to get your shit together. And at this point, I'm ready to just sell him. Like, before, you guys know where I stood on him. Before, I was like, he could go, he could stay. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me. I still think there's a good player there, right? And listen, there is a good player there, but now there's also a liability there. That's the way I see it. And if you're going to come in here and ruin whatever salvation we may have had for that game, because it was 2-1. Boys, it was 2-1 when he came on. I was thinking, okay, get on Jackson. Let's see what he can do differently to Delap, because Delap was quiet. Let's get someone that can be a little bit more involved, because Delap wasn't as involved. So maybe, you know, Jackson getting in there, doing some link-up play, maybe create some chances for Nani, maybe create some chances for Palmer, whoever. Palmer came off, I think, at that point. But maybe create some chances for Neto, you know? And we didn't even get a chance to see that. It took like, what, less than 4 minutes before he got sent off after he just got subbed on? Completely ruined any plans or any, you know, semblance of a comeback that we could have done.
Marshall.
So it was just horrible. It was just horrible. And last thing, Chris, before you go.
No, I was going to go on the Jackson thing. It was 1-1 when he came on. So.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was 2-1. Okay. I listen.
No, it wasn't. It was,
no, wait,
I'm pretty sure it was 2-1.
It's 64 minutes. Are you sure? It's 64 minutes.
No, it wasn't. He got subbed on at 64 minutes. He was sent off.
We conceded at 64.
We conceded a minute. We conceded a minute after he came on the field.
I think as soon as that second goal
Hang
was
on,
conceded,
didn't they score in the 65? Didn't they score in the 65?
Yeah, they scored in the 65th. He got sent off in the 68th.
No. Marshall
came
said,
on.
No, Marshall said, Scott, he came on at 2-1 down. He came on.
Yeah, he came on literally a minute before he scored.
Yeah, just
he got
before.
Sent off. Yeah, he got sent off before.
Yeah. Regardless, like, any game plan that we had couldn't have been initiated or sought out because he got sent off. And that at that point, it's a liability. Like, I'm not going to say we completely lost the match because of him getting sent off, but he definitely killed any hopes we had of coming back into it and at least coming out with 1 point, you know? And yeah, it's just defensively liability. I mean, Chalobah made a mistake in that game as well. Again, I'm putting it mostly on Malo Gusto just being poor defensively, absolutely poor defensively. Colwell had a goal line clearance that, again, from the same similar type of attack, just across from in the box to the other side of the post. It was annoying to see, but hey, big up to Flamengo. The fans showed up. The atmosphere probably got to the players a little bit as well. And yeah, the just overall the players on the pitch, they knew what they were doing. They knew what to expect from Chelsea. They canceled out anything Palmer would have done. They shut down the midfield as well. We just weren't doing shit. We really weren't doing shit. We didn't have that many kill cut chances outside of maybe a delapsed shot straight at the goalkeeper and Neto's opportunity as well. But yeah, not good enough. Not good enough for sure. I definitely feel for Chelsea fans that drive from far away to see the game and then walk out with a loss like that. But yeah, again, super frustrating to see Jackson get sent off again, and I'm done with this player. He's just a liability at this point.
Interesting indeed. Interesting.
I mean, what did you guys see? You guys saw from the TB, so totally different perspective.
Oh no, you were kind of spot on with what you said about Flamengo. They dominated us. Like, it wasn't even just that they dominated us in terms of like, it was just in general. Like, part of it was the fact Maresca changed the formation, not the formation, the setup. He did change the formation, so he changed a lot. Which,
yeah, we were confused by the selection because it was a very confusing.
Yeah, I'll be real. Also, the thing about Reece James, that makes no sense. You can't give an excuse that doesn't make any sense. It didn't make sense at the time. It doesn't make any sense now. Like, it made no sense. You had 4 midfielders on the bench, and Reece James was playing midfield. There's no argument that you can make about that making sense. That's just stupid. Last season, it made sense.
There's a way to
no, there isn't. Armin, what? Okay. What sense is there playing a right back in centre mid and a right back that has been shit the entire year in the team? He was then shit again. For two of the goals we conceded. What point is there in either of those two things being like happening? What was the point?
So
damn
M3. Listen, I think for me, the Reece James one, he's allowed to try it. He's using the Club World Cup essentially as a preseason to test out his subjects, right? In my personal opinion, right? So in my personal opinion, the Reece James thing, he's allowed to try different tactics to see how they work. In my personal opinion. The second thing that you mentioned, right, which was the Malo Gusto one, I agree with you on that. I said this before on Marshall channel. Malo Gusto needs a sabbatical. He needs to actually need to get the young guy to stay away from football for a good 6 weeks. Right, and then tell him to come back. So you won't hear me disagree with you on Gusto, but I think the idea that the manager shouldn't be allowed to try different stuff, right, and everything like that, I don't think that's much of a problem in my personal opinion.
And I agree with you. Trying things is not the problem, because there were certain things he tried that worked that I think you can try.
One more point, Scott, and then the floor is yours. By the way, there's a point that he made about the mentality was still too low. Let me tell you a little secret about Chelsea Football Club. When they face certain types of opposition, the mentality is always going to be low. Against certain type of opposition, that's the way the cookie crumbles right now of our team. And until they can learn from that, it's not really. There's nothing we can really do at this point in time. But that's the way our players react, bro. They legit drop 20%. Yeah, whenever they face competition, they believe they are far greater than. That's what it just comes down to for me.
On the Reece James point. By the way, Reece James was not okay. He was ass. Reece James was ass for 60 minutes. He was nearly responsible for us conceding another goal, by the way.
No, he was bad.
Reece James sucked. The Reece James thing, there is no he can try things, and I'll be honest, I don't really care about the result because this club has shown me what this competition means to them. It means absolutely fuck all. It's a pre-season. They don't care about it. So I don't care about it. What I care about is if you're going to try things, because I don't mind you trying things. I like the fact he went to a different formation. It didn't work because of the way you utilize the formation. But I like the fact he tried a different formation. I like the fact you tried overlapping fullbacks, and it didn't work because one of them was Gusto, who's been shit. The issue with the Reece James thing, you did not need to play Reece James. You could have played Lavia. You could have played Santos. You could have played Asugo. You could have played KDH for all I care. You have 6 midfielders in the squad. There is no reason ever from this moment forward, at any point in the season, for Reece James to play central midfielder. Unless every single central midfielder we have is out, it makes no sense. It makes literally no sense for Reece to ever play central midfield in this team. He's our best right back. He's our best overlapping right back. He's our best crosser from the right-hand side. He's our best defender from the right-hand side. There is no reason ever for him to play in midfield ever again. He should not play in midfield, and that's an error. And like I said, he was shit. Most of our midfield was shit. In fact, most of our team was shit yesterday. Because, again, like I said, he changed up the system. For what reason, I don't know. It didn't work. You decided to go counter-attacking and sit against the ball, which didn't work. Because you just gave Flamengo more time on the ball, and they were cooking us. Wesley down the right-hand side especially, and whoever the hell they had down the left-hand side. Araujo wasn't great, but I can't remember if their left-back was everything, was doing much. But I know they were getting in. You had way too much time on the ball, or had way too many open opportunities, which wasn't working. And the only 2 players, and it's not surprising, by the way, what I'm about to say, the only 2 players that really looked like they were playing well and understood the assignment was Neto and Delap, who have come and have played the majority of their career for teams where they're playing against the ball. So they understand how to play a counter-attacking team where they've got to go against the ball. Enzo Fernandez was anonymous. I don't blame him for that. You've got a guy who 100%. Wasn't playing deep, so can't collect the ball from the centre-backs, playing an assist with the team where we were bypassing the midfield at times, or the midfield was just getting bypassed because Caicedo had a bad game and Reece was terrible. So when you've got a guy who wants to get on the ball and have touches on the ball and find find long passes and whatnot, and he's not getting the ball, and in fact he's playing at left mid at times, I'm not surprised he looks shit. When you've got a guy who the entire season you've had inverting, which it doesn't work, or well, not all the season, but most of the season you've had inverting, and his defending has regressed so completely that when he then actually plays in his natural position, he still looks shit. I'm not surprised, because he's looked shit the whole season. His confidence is in the bin. So when he's getting beaten at the back post again for 2 goals, and not only him, the goalkeeper as well, we'll get to him, I'm not surprised about any of what I just said. Because again, this is where you can have your experimentation. Your experimenting should not come at the cost, if you take this competition seriously, should not come at the cost of results like that. That's the first time we've had that a result like that in months. Since Brighton is the last time I can remember we've had a result like that, where we were beaten that emphatically. So, but like Matisse said this on his review, if you're gonna treat this competition how you've treated it thus far, with the transfers or lack thereof, with the experimenting manager and the such, I know what this competition means to them. It doesn't mean anything. It's pre-season. That's all it is. Which is why I don't care at the end of the day. At the end of the day, like, I'm on Joey's vibe. Lose against Tunis, go out, have their break, and come back for pre-season in like a month's time. I don't care. I agree.
Does the knockout stages continue through like the Premier League, or is it just before it? Or,
no, the final is the 13th of July, I think.
Okay.
The final is a month before the Premier League starts.
Oh, okay.
Chris, what were your thoughts, or what do you think of what said?
I agree. Like, we was against a team that was organised, who wanted to win. I actually expected us to maybe draw that day. I did even thought we'd like maybe draw 1-1, but we didn't create anything. That Neto goal was not a created chance. Neto just got by a bit of luck and a bit of like aggression, and he won the ball and he put it in very nicely. Neto's been very good this tournament. Neto's been actually quite good this tournament. He's been doing really well, and that game is why he's one of the only good players that game, with like maybe Caicedo and I want to say, like, I'm trying to remember, it's like 2 days ago, but like Cucurella was alright, but like most of them were quite poor. Like Cole Palmer was just non-existent.
Cucurella got cooked, man.
Yeah, Cucurella wasn't great.
No, okay, I'm pretty sure Caicedo was solid.
Literally, the players that were good were the ones that I'll give Colwell some props. Other than that, it's what Scott said.
Yeah, most of them were quite poor. I mean, Delap didn't get a lot of options.
the two centre backs were all right, but I'll be real, like they literally like lost their heads and we nearly conceded within about 4 minutes when one of I think their number 10 or their striker ran through the middle of them, and like I think it was I can't remember if it was the touch or the pass that was a little bit fucked up as why he didn't get there. But outside of those two, it was those two, like, and then what's his face, Delap and Neto. That was it.
What I can't work out is why. Okay, I don't know with the club. Obviously, like I can maybe understand they don't want to spend like the extra money like to bring in the players for like the Club World Cup. But it's like with the managers. Well, I couldn't work out like what Scott said. Reece James at CDM when you literally have Santos and he subbed on Lavia that game, and Lavia is a great midfielder. I have, so I just couldn't work out that. And having Enzo as a 10, I just don't think it really works out that well either. Enzo as a 10, I'll be honest. So. Like, I felt like, yeah, we was just one unorganized team that day, and we was against an organized team, and we just got out-pressed and just dominated. Like, we also saw the other Brazilian team. I didn't watch that game, but, like, they beat PSG 1-0, so it must have been, obviously, like, poor for PSG as well. But, yeah, like, these Brazilian teams are showing, like, you know, these top teams how it's done. And, yeah, it's one of them. We got to be careful because it's our final game. If we like
lose our final game in the group stage,
if we lose that, we're out. Like we're done.
Yeah, I hope they lose. Just lose it.
I hear you, Scott. I hear you because like the club has not showed any ambition for this, so why should we really care for it? So yeah, one of those games, you know. Like, so, but yeah, it's just bad.
It's okay. Obviously, I agree with most of what was said, but I do have to push back on a few things. Right. I do think, like I said, if you look at that lineup before the game started, barring Gusto, most fans are probably saying, okay, that's a good enough lineup to beat Flamengo. Even with Reece James in the midfield. Now, mind you, when you look at Reece James' situation, it looks like he is now more fit. In terms of where his fitness is at, he's far more advanced than where Lavia is. So Lavia not being able to play a game back-to-back isn't a surprise to me. And so for me, Lavia is not an option. You put in Reece James. Reece is now able to play a game back-to-back. He played a game at right back against LAFC. Now maybe you want to change up the tactics to have Reece invert or Reece be in the midfield with Caicedo. Sure.
He didn't invert.
He didn't invert. He was just in the midfield. So sure, if you want to do that, that's fine. Change the system. And this is the part where I'm like, okay, we'll talk about Santos. In terms of Santos and Isugo, I think very simply said, it's a trust thing. We know it's not the first time we've seen Maresca do this. He will resort to Malo Gusto at right back, even though you have a right back in Acheampong, who is young and has shown you he's better. He will ask Gusto to play a left back position, even though you have a Renato Vega earlier in the season. He stuck with Nani for how long before he decided, you know what, I'll give Jadon Sancho some minutes, I'll give Pedro Neto some minutes. A lot of it is seeing what's happening in training, seeing the players that he knows have gotten him results or have gotten him top 4 in Conference League in the past and sticking with those players. I think a lot of it's trust. You see it with other managers that have learned from Pep. You see it with Arteta. You see it with a bunch of other managers, all right? So I think that's one factor in terms of why the midfield selection. I just genuinely think the biggest part of it for me in this game is, one, Maresca. Well, this is the confusing part, is the Maresca factor. Is Maresca treating this like a preseason? Or are we actually seriously trying to compete in this and go for it? Because on one hand, if you are competing and going for it, then you're not going to experiment, right? Like, I would assume you're not going to experiment. But on the other hand, and that means what players you pick, chat. I'm just saying that before I'm probably gonna catch some of you guys in hypocrisy later in the show. But that means sticking with lineups that have gotten you results and sticking with the players you trust. On the other hand, if you are competing for this, then, well, wait, I said it's preseason. On the other hand, if you are competing for this, then you don't bring on a Sugo in that first game. You keep playing these players that you've trusted and you keep using them, and you know, maybe you don't take off. You don't take off, Jackson and putting on Delap. You know, I think the biggest factor for why we lost, which I know tactically we did get out tacticked, but I think the biggest factor as to why the game was lost was definitely Jackson. Like that already. I think that hugely jeopardized anything.
We might have been lucky.
We were getting back. No. We were getting back. We lose that game before the Jackson sending off. We conceded. We were on the back foot. We were the second best team prior to him getting sent off. It has nothing to do with Jackson.
But it wasn't like a jarring, like we were on the back foot. Like we were slightly on the back foot in the first half. That second half, we concede 2 goals in a span of less than 5 minutes. Like that's just a lack of concentration from Malo Gusto and the defense and that in general. And the timing of it all happening at the same time, like Jackson comes on, we concede the second one. Like, I do think if you let it play on and Jackson stays on, you do maybe create a chance that maybe we get the second goal. Because the reason I thought Jackson came on was I think Delap probably not ready to play a full 90 in this system. That's one thing. But I think another part of it was the fact that we know Jackson will drop into the midfield to do some link up, make a run in behind, which Delap wasn't doing most of the game. Maybe that opens up the field for Pedro Neto to, run in behind the defense and try to create some chances. Palmer was like absolutely absent that game. Maybe get him involved. I think he came off around the same time Jackson came on. I can't remember
he came off a bit after.
I'm not trying to be shameless. I'm just trying to kind of give perspective.
I think Cole Palmer came off a bit after Jackson.
Cole Palmer came off later on.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe a chance to get Palmer more involved in the game if Jackson stays on. But I mean, listen, I do think we were out tacticked, and in the second half, usually we see this team improve tactically, which unfortunately it was around the 60th minute when everything just capitulated. So yeah, it's a tough loss because obviously I think I speak for me and Scott and maybe Chris as well, that I do want to try to win this. Like I do want to try to win this.
I would love to win it, but
I understand we don't have a preseason, and I'm not saying we're going to win it, but like I would like to try, and fine. If you're going to experiment, if you're going to treat this like a preseason, then against Tunisia, then don't start Caicedo. Don't start Enzo. Give Asugo and Santos a run. Let's see, let's see Mamadou Sarr play. Right? Let's see Penders. Fuck it. If you really want to experiment and you want to treat this like a preseason, next game, let's see those players then. That'll tell me that you treat it like a preseason, that's it. Then I'll be like, you know what? Fine. If it's if we don't want to go into the tournament, fine. Then you want to treat it like a preseason, that's fine. Whatever. But if you want to be serious
we're
about
not getting to it next time.
Then I'm not expecting rotation. I'm expecting the same lineup. Barring, I hope, Malo Gusto, because if you're trying with the overlapping fullbacks again and Malo Gusto's still this bad, like you have Acheampong. Just use Acheampong.
Play him again. Fuck it. Why not?
It's ridiculous. I mean, on that
play
note,
him, and hopefully we'll concede 2 goals because of him, and then we will go out.
On that note, too,
people tried to tell me, by the way, that it was a system thing with him. Yeah, okay, mate.
I mean, it's looking like it.
It's never ever been a system thing. Never been a system.
With Gusto, he was he was more of a wing back that day, and he looked awful.
He was fullback. It was overlapping. Didn't invert one. But this is him. This has been him this season.
Yeah. Getting into the show, let's talk about Malo Gusto. Bayern have been scouting Malo Gusto, who could leave Chelsea this summer. No departures for Bayern yet, though, so it's not a priority right now. And then another here, Bayern have scouted Malo Gusto several times. Our Frenchman is a candidate to leave Chelsea this summer.
Is this legit?
Bye.
These are some outlets that are reporting it. I don't know how reliable they
I
are.
can't imagine him playing for Bayern Munich, but hey, like if they really want him, like
they're not as defensively, focused as Chelsea are trying to be, and he's been.
But like he is better defensively.
He's been shit on both ends.
Yeah, but like he can't pass a simple like 5-yard pass at times. Like
anything, bro.
I don't know what he can do. He can't cross. He can't shoot. He can't pass.
Anything.
Mm-hmm.
Can he take on a player?
Nope.
I don't know what he can do right now.
Can't defend.
I mean, like, if Bayern Munich actually want to pay like 20, 30 million for him, I'd take it.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah. I feel like, but at the same time too, like, for those of you guys who don't want to sell Malo Gusto, you want to give him a second chance or whatever. Where do you see the solution to see him get the opportunity to prove himself? Like, he has to play.
Oh, he goes.
So unless he's not going to play, you might as well sell him. And unfortunately, he's at this point right now where I'm thinking the only way to see if he improves or gets back to where he was is to have him play minutes. So coming on as a sub, maybe playing Carabao Cup, FA Cup, which if we are playing Malo Gusto in Carabao Cup or FA Cup, are you willing to then sacrifice the potential of winning or advancing in those tournaments to see out this player potentially getting back into form? Because you are playing that risk. You are taking that risk of, like, he could cost us the game. This is, again, a Flamengo side. Listen, no disrespect to Flamengo, right? But on paper, tit for tat, we are the better team. We were the favorites in that game. But because we were outmatched tactically, because this player was on the pitch as well, we lost that game. I think the way because people are saying, like, Jackson's not the reason we lost. Jackson's definitely the reason we didn't win. I'll tell you that.
No,
Jackson's definitely the reason we didn't come out of that with 1 point.
I mean, it's gonna be a lot harder with 10 men. No, but it is gonna be harder with 10 men attacking.
He could have been on the pitch and we're not getting anything out of that game. Well, I don't
I disagree with that. I do think he comes on the pitch and he makes a difference.
Based on what?
Based on the fact that he could have been more involved with the game than Liam Delap. With the link-up play, there was a huge hole.
Number one, Delap was actually good. Number one.
Yeah, he was.
Number two,
when he had the opportunity, he was involved.
We played as a team. Forget Jackson, because Jackson's not the type of player that's winning us that game by himself. What about us as a team?
He's not going to win us the game.
Cool. So what about us as a team?
By himself, I mean.
In that second half, in fact, the whole game indicated to you that we had any chance in coming back into that game.
I think
the fact that I think it was, in the second half, I think it was more 60-40 towards Flamengo's in favor. Like, it's not like it was 90% Flamengo's game. Like, that's what I'm trying to get at.
How many chances did we create in the second half? Clear chances.
second half. Oh.
Maybe 1 or 2. That's about
cool.
it.
So no more than the first half then.
We were down to 10 men once we made that subs in the 60th minute.
Even before the 10 man, we were not creating nothing. They were still creating more than us. They just scored.
Barely. They were barely creating. Prior to the goal, they created one chance that Plata missed. Like, we weren't getting clapped, we weren't getting pushed in, we weren't getting pressured in. They created one chance that Plata missed. And then the same identical chance happens again, and this time they score. So that's why, like, and then 5 minutes later, they do the same fucking bullshit. So, I think
one cleared off the line as well.
That was in the first half. And that was their only chance that first half.
No, it wasn't. Plata had a chance.
No, it was in the first half. The first half was the goal line clearance.
They had that one where they put it through. And I think that the striker fucked it up.
I think that was the second half. I think that was the Plata one.
No, that was the first half. That was within like 4 minutes.
I do not remember, unfortunately. But sure, I'll take your word for it. I just don't think it was as open of a game as, like, some people might want to make it seem. Like, the reason I think there was a chance is because Liam Delap, when he was involved with the play, which, again, I don't blame him. I think he's doing what he has to do as a striker, right? Is try to get goals. He did try to get goals. He was being a menace to them when he was involved, but he wasn't linking up and connecting play like a Jackson would, which if a Jackson came on, I do think he drops deeper more into the midfield, almost like a false 9. And maybe you create chances for Neto or Palmer in behind the defense to do something. But unfortunately, we only got to see 4 minutes of it. And I think the first or second time he touched the ball has that stupid moment. So it just completely takes away any chance we had of coming back from it. That's where I'm coming from. That's the angle I'm coming from. So I think part of the reason we didn't win or come back from it is Jackson. But I think the reason we lost, the major reason we lost, is because of Malo Gusto.
I thought it's just the way we set up. Like,
Yeah,
it was a big reason as well. Like, just we looked unorganized.
I think that's part of it.
Like, I know
idiotic,
Gusto was poor,
moments.
but like water's wet with him at this point. Like, we expect him to be poor most of the time.
Water's wet.
No, he's spitting like water. Like with Gusto at this point, it's not.
It's expected.
Yeah, this is him in this system. His confidence
man
is in the
just
bit
on that
of
one.
Paddy Issues was after Podge. Like this is who he is at the moment.
But this is
Like,
what I'm
people have to
saying,
accept
ladies and gents. Like, we're at a crossroads now where the only way for Gusto to get better or back to his best self is by playing him. Maybe you don't have to start him, but you bring him on and you give him minutes.
And train him.
Where are you going to give him minutes? Probably some sub minutes in the Prem, maybe some minutes in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Then if you're going to put him in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup and you have ambitions to try to win a domestic trophy, then you're risking it by playing Malo Gusto.
But okay. A lot of those games in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup will be against lower teams he would be playing.
What is Flamengo?
I know from. Yeah, but I'm not gonna. By the way, I'm not
trying to disrespect Flamengo, but like,
I'm not gonna compare Flamengo to like a championship, even a championship team or League One team or like a non-league team maybe like we could potentially face. So, Flamengo is top of the league like in the Brazil league. They are the best team in Brazil. They beat us. Didn't they beat? Wait, they are the team who beat us like when we won our first Champions League, right?
No,
that's Corinthians.
Was it? Oh, they beat us 1-0, right? Yeah.
Currently, as things stand, Corinthians and Palmeiras are probably the best teams in Brazil right now.
No, they're not.
I thought it was Flamengo.
What do you mean? Corinthians was just in a Brasileiro final against Palmeiras, and they won with Memphis Depay.
I swear it's Flamengo who beat us like
sure
after
about
2013.
Yeah, was it a Brasileiro or is it another cup in Brazil?
Might have been the Brazilian Cup. It wasn't the Brasileiro. That's the league, which was won by Botafogo last year.
Okay, never mind then. Wrong competition.
Well, Flamengo's
a good team. Don't get me wrong, but if you
Flamengo's
bring
currently the
Flamengo
best
to the
team.
Prem,
If you bring them to the Prem, they are challenging the top 6.
ain't no way. Really? You think that?
Yes.
I say top
I was
8.
going to say they're like a Wolves.
What?
Or getting relegated nearly.
Yeah.
You're high. If you think Flamengo, with the Premier League spending power, by the way, the Premier League spending power, they're finishing they are challenging the top 6.
Yeah, they get 100 million.
Maybe top 8
as well.
I'm gonna.
I would say like around top 10, top 8.
I mean,
like,
with Premier League funding, yeah, they could completely change their team, but I don't know how they would. That's just, I don't know. That one I can't. I'm just saying in terms of what they have right now.
We're the farmers.
In terms of what they have right now, what the team has right now, compared to what is in the Premier League right now, I do see that.
Marshall, that's cool. That's cool. Explain to me then why South American teams are as yet unbeaten. I think they're still unbeaten in.
Only Boca.
Oh no, until Boca Juniors. Up until that point, they were unbeaten in this competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're the farmers. It's the other way around.
I think there's a lot of underestimating the teams, and I think there's a lot of physicality that I think the Premier League teams are just not.
I mean, we used to pride ourselves on physicality.
Yes, so the physicality is not an issue. They're already a physical league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, CP's spitting, by the way. This is a team that was, since Felipe Luis came in, when he came in last season, they went the rest of the season unbeaten. They won the cup.
Wait.
No, they aren't. It's Flamengo. I'm trying to catch up with chat. Sorry. Okay, here we go.
This European snobbery that goes on is nuts because
I think
Like,
they just
we're talking
overlook
about
it.
teams
I
like
did a little bit of that.
a Fluminense team who's 6th in the Brazilian league went toe to toe with Dortmund. A 8th place Botafogo beat PSG, who had 6 of their starters in that team. Flamengo, who are top of that league, dominated us. Who finished 4th in the Premier League, dominated us.
Yeah. Yeah, you could also make the argument these teams aren't taking it seriously. I doubt it, though. There's too much money on the line. Maresca has been destroying talents, not improving them. Instead, he has improved our style of play, not the players. All right, well, talk to Enzo Fernandez, talk to Caicedo, talk to Cucurella. It's like, you guys do too much sometimes. It's just ridiculous. In terms of Malagusto, though, I think, Scott, it's safe to say you're done.
No, I'm not necessarily done. Like, I'm not pushing him out the door. I just don't care if he leaves. Like, that's it. Because we got someone behind him who understands the system, can play both sides better than he. Well, in this system, can play both sides better than he can currently. Isn't as much of an idiot in possession as he is. Is younger than he is potentially in this system. Has a higher ceiling. We don't know yet. That's yet to be seen. So why am I going to care about some guy who, like, just can't understand the system? And the thing is like, because Jimmy said this before, his issue at the moment, his issue isn't a technical understanding, right? His issue is all mental. This guy is dumb as rocks. Like, this guy is genuinely, he is in the Conor Gallagher tier when it comes to, like, tactical IQ. Like, if you're looking at a spectrum, right, and at the very extreme of one end, you've got your Pirlos and your Xavis and people like that in terms of tactical understanding of systems and how to play in systems and all that stuff. And at the bottom tier, you've got, like, Conor Gallagher and people like that. He is in that category. He is bottom tier when it comes to tactical understanding of systems, like, and just try and taking instructions on. Like, I genuinely think when it comes to Gusto, you've got to give him, like, similar with Conor Gallagher, right? With Gallagher, he works best when you give him real simple instructions and you don't make it complicated for him. Some players are like, you look at, like, when we had Jorginho, he can understand, like, he can take on a lot of instructions. I think that, like, Enzo's the same, or at least he's getting there. I feel like Caicedo's, like, he's not amazing at it, but I feel like he's on his way. This guy, it's like real simple instructions, like real simple instructions. Because anything more, it's a wrap. Because like this guy's trying to dribble out from the back in his own defensive third. He's doing stupid passes to no one. Like the Caicedo yellow card just gives him a hospital pass when he's under no pressure for no reason. Like, for no reason. The back post thing still, like, the fact that we're having to we're noticing a pattern with this guy when he's in the team, and we keep conceding goals from the back post. Like, we as a fan base cooked Trent, like, for it. Yeah. Like, we cooked Trent for it. Which, like, whether that was right to do or not, it was kind of tribalism, and it was cool to do at the time. Gusto's now doing the same thing. So we're going to cook Gusto for doing it? Like, there's nothing about him currently in this system that is a positive. Nothing about him. Now, this isn't to say he couldn't improve, but I've watched an entire season of him not getting any better. Like, he's not gotten any better this season. In fact, he's got worse. Yeah, I can't disagree. So, Sean said it earlier. He has till January before I am firmly on the side of getting rid of him, actively push him out the club. He has till January. If you don't send me something by January, you need to leave. Because, like I said, I've got someone behind you who's already shown he can play in this system. He's already shown that, like, he has the ability to play in the Premier League and play in Europe. Obviously, the European stuff was a bit of a lower tier, but he has the quality and the ability to play in the Premier League. He's comfortable in the systems. He's comfortable inverting. He's comfortable playing in midfield when he has to. Don't want him to, but when he has to. Gusto hasn't shown me any of what I just mentioned last season.
It could be, like, basically like the same.
And I don't give a shit, by the way. Sorry, Chris. I don't give a shit about what he does internationally. The amount of players I can tell you that was sucked for their club and did well internationally, I don't give a shit. I don't care what he does internationally.
I don't think there's any way back for Malo Gusto. I
Hey, Scott,
haven't
do you wanna
seen.
address this, or
Sorry?
Ahmed, or whoever. You want to address this comment?
What?
The
No,
same guy that also.
Where is Ahmed gone?
I don't know. He's probably eating.
We've been shit.
Also,
under...
this comment.
I mean, we haven't been shit, have we? Like,
I don't
we
want
had
to
the
engage
shit...
with chat.
I
and
know,
derail the
but like,
show,
we had
but-
the shit period in December and all that. Like, we definitely had a shit period, but we picked up again later on in the season, so it's just not true. Like, people wrote us off in the last 4 games and saying we're not going to do it. Like, we're going to lose against these teams like Newcastle, Liverpool, Man United, and Nottingham Forest. Like, they're going to say they're too good for us. Like, we're too poor right now. But it didn't happen. We got top 4 still.
DHL, where were you the last 2 months? Because I weren't seeing your comments or seeing you talk like this the last 2 months. I'm just saying.
I don't think any
You
of
guys
us
like-
actually
you
here
guys,
act like
you
Maresca's the
negative
perfect
fans like
manager
to just-
anyway.
These guys who are Maresca out just like to pop up in the most convenient times. How convenient. Maresca lost against Flamengo, and now you want to come out and speak. Now you want to come out and speak. Okay. I'm just saying,
one game,
when it was Jose ball, when it was Jose low block, counter-attacking ball, you had no issues with that. But now we want to play a different style of play. Got us results. We go back to the Roman, you know, the lowest expectation, which is top 4, and on top of it, we win the European trophy on that, which you probably thought we were gonna lose. And here you are saying, can't wait till these guys walk back Maresca's bullshit. And listen, we were here giving Maresca
A lot of criticism in December.
a good amount of criticism. And we're giving Maresca criticism now, really. Like,
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
That game was on him as well.
Yes, I say yesterday. I place at least 70-80% of the blame of why we lost on Maresca.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're experimenting, fine. But if you're taking this seriously, that lineup is horrific. You can't go out with that with Gusto in there, and seeing how much of a liability he's been. I didn't mean to say the lineup is horrific, but that Malo Gusto involved in that, and you see how he's been. Just play Acheampong. And and Ahmed's right. You mentioned this before, right? Why am I basing Acheampong and all this and that? Because this season, if you're comparing appearances this season for Gusto versus Acheampong has been the most consistent.
Acheampong's been levels clear of Gusto this season.
Acheampong hasn't
And
been
it's not
like,
even close. In every position he's played, by the way, both left back when he's played there, right back, and in midfield when he's had to play there, he's been better than him in all 3 positions.
I don't remember too many bad games he's had.
He had the one game against Copenhagen at left back where he wasn't great, but the whole team wasn't. I think for me he was the best player on the pitch, but that wasn't saying much because I think the whole team was bad that Copenhagen game. And then that's basically it. He wasn't even bad that game against Bournemouth where he got scapegoated by Maresca. And yeah, that's about it.
These comments are ridiculous, bro. And again, I'm not trying to engage chat, but sometimes I can't help myself. Unless you're Real Madrid, I don't know what team goes into UCL thinking we can win this. Most teams are just play
PSG will go
round by round, and when
again.
you get to round 16, you start believing. PSG probably didn't think they were going to win it, Chris.
I mean,
They almost didn't make it past the fucking league stage.
I said they have a chance early on. I thought they have a great team.
They
great
came
manager.
in 16th. They just barely qualified for the next round, the knockout rounds.
What do you mean? PSG came 16th from where?
In the UCL league. The league
Okay,
table
yeah,
in the
okay, yeah,
UCL.
yeah.
They barely qualified for knockouts. And then they turned it around. And again, this is the same team that earlier on, I don't know if you were saying it, DHL, but a lot of fans were saying oh, we're challenging for the league. We're challenging for the league. This is just ridiculous, bro. And we were there. Like I said, we were in top 4 for most of the season.
I would say we're
90% of the season, we were in the top 4.
90? I would say it's 70 or something, but maybe we're a bit more.
80% of the season? We didn't really drop out of top 4 outside of that January period.
We was in it for a good while until December, and then we dropped off for a bit. And then
top 4.
Yeah.
You know
then
what? Let me just look at transfer.
We started dropping out of top 4 after December, obviously, because we was in a horrific bad form afterwards, and we just dropped out of it. It took a little bit of time to drop out, but we were seeing it was dropping out. I don't know when we dropped out, but it was somewhere after December. But yeah, like we had rivals, and like people telling us win a title race, like, and stuff like that, because we're in really good form. But yeah, we been top 4 for most of the season. It wouldn't have mattered if we didn't get there, but we still did. So.
Fixtures by competition. I'm getting there. And then, well, fuck. Premier League. Where are we? Okay, 4th, 17th, 8th, 11th, 8th, 5th, 4th, 4th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 6th, 7th, 5th, 4th, 5th, 5th. Okay, 75% is actually, yeah.
Yeah, I thought about it. I gave it
fair enough.
Estimate.
Fair enough. Yeah, 70% I would even give you. But yeah, that's still a good majority of the season to be like in top 4. And even then, I think the win percentage was a lot better from Maresca than it was under Poch. I could be wrong about that one.
We did like a prediction, you know, like obviously halfway through the season in December. Was it December? Trying to remember where we did I even doubled down. I thought we'd still get top 4. Like the teams around us weren't that great, and we were still like, you know.
Here's the problem with
around it.
Here's the problem with Maresca Defense League. We set objectives for Maresca to hit, which is top 4 in the trophy, and he hit it. Boom. That's the problem. At this point, just admit you don't like the manager's style of play. Don't try to say that it's based on logic. Don't try to say that it's based on fact. Just say it's based on emotion. You don't like the way the manager plays. You want a manager that can play a different style of football. You don't care that this style of football got us top 4. You don't care that it won us a trophy. Just say it. Just flat out say it. But as far as I'm aware, what I said in the beginning of the season, what most of us said in the beginning of the season, top 4 and a trophy. And I know there's context to it, but we got top 4 and a trophy. We ended up being undefeated in the last 10 games up until this game. Like, he accomplished what goal was set out for him. So, boom.
I'm trying to figure out what's the next goal for him. If we don't get like any, pardon?
Are you talking about from the club or from the fans?
I don't know how if the club are like expecting to be title challenger, I need to give them.
No, they're not.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
The club is expecting top 4.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, if they don't get like a Gyökeres or Osherman or something like that in the strike, or a really good winger, obviously you can get your goals. I don't know where you expect Chelsea even be competing. So yeah, like all I'll be expecting next season is if we don't sign the strikers, we need, or the wingers, or goalkeeper, because if we have Sanchez in that team with, I don't know what's happening with Petrovic, but like if we have Sanchez, like we're not getting close to that title. It'd be like top 4 again, and that'd be on owners, not the manager. They'd be asking too much.
Yeah. On the next topic too, while I'm also catching up with chat again. Guys are a chatty bunch. Wait a second. Oh, so bear with me because I am partially distracted with Club World Cup in the background. Let's see, where are we at on the likes? Only 32 likes. 126 of you are chatting bullshit, but none of you can press the likes. Only 33 of you can press the likes. See, it's not nice when I generalize and say none of you can press the likes. But you guys like to generalize about Chelsea a fuck ton. So hey, if you don't want to be like this very Chelsea, criticism that you're saying, or Maresca, or whatever the fuck, how about you press the like button? That helps out tremendously. Because 120 of you were just chatting a lot of shit and chatting a lot of waffle, but you can't press the like button. Very simple. But all right, we continue on as we sit here giving you guys content, right? Let's go on to the next story. Jackson as well. Another one that after that game, very understandably so, I'm probably not going to defend this very much, if at all, is another one that probably needs to be sold. So let's talk about it. We got the apology tweet, or the apology,
apology?
Instagram story. Yep, he made an apology.
The first time,
I think. Wait, did
Nah.
No, the first
he didn't
time
apologize for the last time he got sent off, but did he make an apology prior in a previous?
The one in Newcastle, I know he didn't, but
I don't know if he made one before.
wait,
But,
is this the third
Yeah,
red?
he didn't make one for Newcastle.
No, I know he didn't make one for Newcastle, but I don't think he made one before that for any other game. What was your question, Chris?
Wait, he had that was his third red the other day.
He
I
got
don't remember
sent
the first
off
one.
previously for something.
Okay,
No, he didn't.
I don't
think he
remember like
Prior to,
Newcastle.
I'll look it up. Prior to Newcastle, I'm pretty sure he's been sent off before.
Has he? What for?
I don't remember. I gotta look into it.
Was it talking to the
Chat,
ref?
remind me too,
And,
if,
like,
if
he-
it is possible.
He was on a yellow. Like I don't know.
He's only on 2. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I only remember 2, like the 2 recent ones.
No, he only had 2. I swear he had a third time.
No.
I know he got suspended from card accumulations, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
that-
there's
I think
like
that's
a
it,
double
yeah.
yellow.
That's not
instance.
like anything too deep. That happens,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, I'll look into it in a little bit, chat.
I guess he's
but I believe
sorry.
you guys. Okay, cool. So we got PYS posting here the Jackson apologies. I'll read it out. I want to say sorry to the club, to the staff, my teammates, and all the fans watching. I let you down, another red card, and honestly, I'm so angry at myself. I work hard every day to help the team, not to put us in this kind of situation. I still don't fully understand how it happened. It was very clear how it happened, dude. But one thing is clear: it wasn't intentional. Just a football moment that went the wrong way. No excuses. I take full accountability or full responsibility. I'll reflect. I'll grow. I'll come back stronger for the badge and for everyone who believes in me. Sorry. Oh my god, dude. He's suspended, by the way, ladies and gents, until the semifinal if we make it to the semi.
We're not making it to the
And
semi.
he is suspended for the first game of the Premier League, which is
Yeah.
going to be against who's
Crystal
playing
Palace.
against West Ham?
When
Crystal Palace.
Crystal
Yeah.
Palace. So he's suspended against Crystal Palace. Continuing on though, Cucurella had some comments. He said maybe he needs to improve, but he's still a young player. I think it's also a bit of luck. He tried to put his foot on the ball.
No, he didn't.
Sure. Nicholas Jackson is not for sale at the moment, but has attracted interest from 3 Premier League clubs as well as in Europe and Saudi Arabia. Italian interest sides may not be able to afford wages, and the transfer fee Chelsea would ask for, which would lead to a potential sale. Chelsea may still sign another striker this summer. Breaking: Nicholas Jackson's future is in doubt. Juve have probed him and what does that mean? Juve have probed him and has already made inquiries. Napoli are also interested, but are prioritizing working on Nunez and Luca. Juventus are currently ahead of Napoli. This is coming from DiMarzio. We also have here what I can say at the moment as of June 21st. Chelsea is asking a high price for Jackson because I am told has interest from the Premier League. We are talking about 47 to 51 million pounds. A possible departure for Jackson? Yes, it's possible. But in Italy, it would only happen if Chelsea changed their price. Sky Cava also saying here, Chelsea are planning to have at least 2 frontline strikers in their squad next season, which means Nicholas Jackson is not for sale at the moment. Jackson has been subject of interest from 3 Premier League clubs, as well as Europe and Saudi. Clubs in Saudi are interested, or clubs in Italy are interested, but they may not be able to afford the transfer fee and wages, which I think the wages part is kind of weird, which would lead to any potential sale. Last summer, he signed a 2-year contract extension, which ties him to Chelsea until 2033. Chelsea have already signed Liam Delap this summer and may as well sign another striker. And then to add this part here, just to show in a little bit, Chelsea are planning for Emmanuel Omega to be part of their squad for the summer of 2026, as revealed in May. Omega also expected to stay at Strasbourg this summer and join Chelsea project next year if all goes as planned. No confirmations on report about Juve move. And I mention this because, I mean, if we don't get rid of Jackson this summer, potentially next summer, and Omega takes his place. But I want to go back to this one because I'm sure people are looking at the price and thinking, how can you possibly think that Jackson can be sold for 47 to 51 million pounds? This club is penny pinching and all this bullshit and crybaby shit that everyone likes to cry about. But I'll let you guys go ahead and discuss this.
about the price or
Whatever you
him
want.
being.
He can leave.
I agree. He can leave.
I was like on the fence, like if he stays like you, Marshall, it didn't bother me because for me he did bring something different to the left. Even though I do want another striker. I still want a Gyökeres or Osimhen, but I'm thinking, at reality now, we're probably not getting him like either. I just don't see it anymore because we like our wage structures the way it is or whatever. But yeah, like I would just like get rid of this guy because I don't know if I can trust him now. I don't know if I can trust him for the next season. Does he do this again? Does he like? He obviously needs to stop it, and he is young, but like he's done it two times in 3 games. I don't know what's going through his head. Is it because like he's knowing like he's maybe getting pushed out the door like for like #1 striker? I don't know. I don't think it would be that, but it might be. But yeah, like he's becoming a very frustrating player, and I've kind of liked him. Like, you know, he had great link-up play, and he could get goals, but he had a poor season this season for sure. But yeah, like Scott said, he can go. I don't trust him no more. I don't think. If the club like sell him for like 40, 50 million, great. We can get a new striker in. I think I'll maybe trust Mark Gooey or whatever you say his name more than him at this point. So yeah, it's just frustrating what he's doing.
Where's the video? Oh, here it is.
Hey Blues, this is how to say my name, Mark Gill.
Yeah,
I knew you were looking for that. I knew you were going to play that.
I didn't.
Yeah, I'll be real. Like he can leave. Like I've tried to defend Jackson. So many times. And it's pointless now. Defending him. Because the annoying thing is, it looked like he'd actually changed his mentality in terms of the first game. There was a level of like, okay, now I've got competition, I have to perform, right? Like he played well in the first game against LAFC. This game he comes on, doesn't really do anything because it's 4 minutes. What can you do? And then just get sent off, and it's like it was a clear red card. Like, bro, I don't know what he's doing, tackling with the wrong foot, high, like almost knee level. Like, bro, it's just a stupid challenge. And so he can leave. Like, the mentality's not there. Even if I think he's a good player, which I do think he is, it's quite clear he's way too immature. The mentality is not there. He's not learning. That's the one thing you got to show when it comes to like, if you're a young kid playing at a top team, you've got to be able to learn from mistakes, right? Like, it's okay if you make a mistake once. That's fine. You can make a mistake once. Everyone makes mistakes. You made a second mistake again within a month, I think. Like, you've made it's just, bro, he needs to go. Like, get rid of him, go and get someone else in, whether it's Kolo Muani on loan, whether it's the TK, whether it's Voltamade, who I don't think we will get at this point, whatever it may be, fine. Get rid of him. The mentality alone should be a reason why you get rid of him.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm down for selling him, but at the price that we put him at, I think
we shouldn't be getting any less than like.
Yeah, I think this is worth the price. Like,
I'll be okay.
If anything, this is kind of a deal for him, to be honest. I feel like 50 should be the minimum.
Yeah, 50 mil. Cool.
Do you see anyone outside the Premier League paying that for him?
Honestly, best case scenario for me, best case scenario in terms of using getting rid of Jackson is use him as in a deal for getting Morgan Rogers. Best case scenario.
I mean, it's something like that, and hopefully he's okay, like going to Aston Villa. But that'd be great.
I think he will. Obviously, Emery's there.
I mean, he'd definitely get more
Saudi. There is Saudi interest apparently.
Yeah, but they said they can't afford the guy, man.
Where in Saudi? They didn't say the club, did they?
Yeah, they didn't say where, but it's saying that he has Saudi interests, which we'll see. I mean, it could be one of those situations where, like, you know what we did with Koulibaly and Edu Mendy and stuff, which big up Kalidou, he's playing right now. But I don't know. I think there might be interest. I mean, Duran went to Saudi. Yeah, so I think there is a possibility he can go to Saudi. I just don't think Italian clubs have the money to pay, unfortunately. I don't think wages is an issue because he's not on high wages.
That's what I mean.
I think he's well under 200K. At most, he might be 120, 100. I can actually look this up. I forgot. I can do this thing.
I have a good page for it, but I think he's like 150 or less, easily.
Let's look up Capology.
Oh, you use that site too? Yeah, I use that.
Yeah. Let's see. He's on 100K a week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of Italian teams that pay a lot more than that.
On
for the
wages,
player.
yeah, but it's just the money we're asking 50 million. Italian club ain't paying 50 million for Jackson.
Exactly, yeah. An Italian club
There's
won't
no
pay the
way.
50 million pounds. But that's because it's not because they don't think the player's worth it. I just think they can't afford it. And I don't want to hear people saying like, "No, you can't. That's too much. We're outpricing him." Bro,
Juventus
look
maybe?
at Hugo Getike. Look at Sesko. Look at Osimhen. Look at any striker right now, and tell me who you're gonna get for anywhere near the price that Jackson's worth, or Jackson's being valued at. Like, think logically, people.
And isn't Osimhen like 65 million as well? Like, you know, like I don't
think
know.
it might
Like
be more, to be honest. I think they increased the
No, I
price.
think it's
Yorkers is what 70, 60 as well. Like, it's not really that much difference.
I don't know what Jokic. He's got a release clause, but apparently they're.
It's not like legit, is it?
I was gonna say, well, I thought he had a release clause, but in this talk, if they want 100 mil, which that means it can't be a release clause. Because if it's a release clause, then they would have no say. So I don't really know.
Was it a Harry Kane gentleman's agreement?
That's apparently what it was.
That's kind of
I
never
don't
trust
know.
that, man. Never trust that of a businessman.
Never
Like,
trust
yeah,
a gentleman's agreement, man.
like Harry Kane found the
No
hard
one ever learns.
out the hard way in that one. Like, he trusted him. No,
Yeah.
don't do that as a player. Just don't be naive and just accept that. But yeah, like I don't know. Like, I would take 40. How much you pay for Jackson? 30.
This is
37.
yo, this is what I mean. We're doing too much. He has not improved since he joined.
For me,
What are we
like, if we
talking
get
about?
45 million for Jackson, I'll take it.
Like, you guys gotta stop doing too much. You gotta stop
What?
being hyperbolic. Like, get off Twitter for like a week. Go touch grass. Meet a woman. Watch
Wait, what's
football
that
with your
mean?
eyes. You know, maybe open up a bank account. Like, go do grocery shopping. Do normal things instead of having footballing opinions on the internet. Because like, I read so much dumb shit, and it makes me just intolerable to like some of you guys say some dumb shit in chat, and I don't even like. I'm so like unfazed emotionally at this point that I just call it like it is. Y'all dumb fucks sometimes. Y'all literally be some dumb fucks sometimes. I'm gonna be real. The improvement is very minimal though. Considering it's not like, you know what? Let me.
Oh, you mean with Jackson? I mean, no, he
from Valencia? I keep forgetting.
No,
He's
he-
Villarreal, Valencia.
he got
Villarreal.
worse this season though. Jackson just got worse this season.
No, but like since we got him, there's the
Right.
argument. Since we
But
obtained him,
he wasn't
he's not
really
gotten
like
worse.
when we got him, right? He had like what, one professional season
Yes.
under his belt.
Half a professional season.
Maybe
And
two.
two.
I think he was
He
on
was
loan.
playing-
one.
He wasn't he also playing left wing as well, right? Young in his career
Yes.
on the wing. I heard that, but so I feel like it's quite easy to say he's improved from there to Chelsea. But when he got to Chelsea first season, I thought it was okay. Getting 14 goals with AFCON, that was decent for me. I didn't expect much more from him. This season, he was looking great in the first half of the season. Not first half, but start of the season. Scoring all his chances and all that. And then something just hit him. And he stopped like 9+ games or something without scoring. And the end of the season, what, 10 goals? Yeah, he just got worse.
All right. So this is last season, right?
Oh, with Chelsea?
Yeah. Or just using simple GNA, right? Very simple, easy to read.
Wait, what player?
Cool. Cool. Oh, he hasn't outdone his purple patch. Okay, so now it's just a purple patch. Sure. 13-6, right? And I'm assuming most of us believe that La Liga is not as physical or as competitive as the Prem, right?
I mean,
All
La
right.
Liga can be quite physical.
You're in for quite a surprise, people who believe this, that he's not improved since he came. You're in for quite a surprise. Oh, wait, no, I did the wrong season. Even better.
Yeah,
17 goals. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's declined from last season.
Yeah.
I agree. That I do not disagree with that.
But this
Put the wrong
one,
season in there. So this was when he was at La Liga.
that's actually not bad. 26 games.
13-5 versus, what did I say before last season? 13-5.
What's 13 and 5?
13-6. So he had the good season, and then he's shown the same numbers with an injury. Similar season to I keep forgetting the team. I'm sorry. Villarreal.
I mean, 26 games with 12 goals isn't too bad for his first professional season. So he hasn't actually really improved from by looks of it, La Liga.
He has improved.
It's a difficult league.
He has improved.
It's a more
people doing
difficult league
nonsense
here at the Prem.
As per usual with the fan base, people doing nonsense. He definitely has improved.
And again,
you mean with ability or getting goals?
Because he's been a liability. But this is what I mean. I just don't like working off of nonsense. I don't like working off of exaggerations. I don't like to lie to people. I just like to say it as it is. This is how I see the game. This is my opinion. And I don't overinflate it or overbloat it and saying oh, this guy's the worst striker we've ever had in the history of the club. No, we've had worse strikers. We've had worse players. But yeah, this guy said, of course it's a purple patch. Sure, if you think it's a purple patch, fine. But whatever. He's in a much more competitive league. So the way I see it, if you give me the same GNA as you did in La Liga, but in the Premier League, that's an improvement. Because you're doing it now at a tougher league. If it was the opposite, then I don't see it as an improvement. I see it as a decline. Sorry, slightly distracted there.
No, it's cool. I'm gonna be real. This whole conversation started for some idiot thinking that we should sell him for 30 million. We should sell him for a loss. If you genuinely think that, dead ass, you're a retard. Straight up.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, we're not doing that.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna sell him for less than.
I would at minimum sell him for 45 million. I think I'll be okay with it. We just get another striker, but that's a plus. And yeah, we've had him for a couple of years.
I am used to it. It's just that I'm now cold to it now, where I'll just straight up insult you. I was waiting for someone to say some nonsense to me at the Flamengo game. I was just like, bro, you're just retarded if you really think that. I was waiting for some bullshit, but luckily, most Chelsea fans weren't overly emotional at that game. There were some hot takes though. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
at the ground,
what it is.
Or...
yeah.
How many Chelsea fans were there?
Not that many, man. It was rough.
Outnumbered. I think I saw one Chelsea fan convert to a Flamengo fan on the spot. He gave him a Flamengo shirt and he took off his Chelsea shirt and wore the
Tammy
Flamengo
is
shirt.
Not better, bro. Let's stop this, bro. Tammy is not better.
I mean, right. I don't think he is better as a footballer, but for goals, Tammy's beat Jackson for both seasons, hasn't he? Mm-hmm. I know,
what did he get his second season?
Who, Tammy?
You want me to look it up?
Yeah.
Did Tammy have a second season at Chelsea?
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, it wouldn't compare it for second season maybe, but
he was shit.
Yeah.
Second season he was shit.
Yeah, it was worse. So I don't know. Did he get more than 10?
The first season.
He got 15.
So listen, people like to say that. First of all, the definition of purple patch has changed because I remember, purple patch was a segment of the season, which this season you can say from September till November was a purple patch for Jackson. Cool. That's fine. You can call that. But now people are shifting the goalposts and saying his first season was a purple patch. Bro, that's not a purple patch. That's just he had a good season.
I used to call one season one.
But you don't want to admit he had a good season because that would go against your narrative that he's improved as a player, wouldn't it? So now you want to just say it's a purple patch. Well, motherfucker, his purple patch lasted longer than any purple patch we had under Kai Havertz. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
If Nicholas Jackson's a purple patch player and he's gonna give me a purple patch for about a year and a half or a season and a half or a season and a third, I'll even be that generous, and so be it. That I'll take that. But I don't want to take that because this is Chelsea. I expect Liam Delap to be an improvement on Jackson. I expect us to bring in a striker that can be better than Jackson, and he doesn't have to give me a season and a half purple patch. Just give me good seasons or consistencies. So it's just some of the shit's crazy. All right,
absolutely
hold on. I was
not,
looking up.
Blahovic. Absolutely not.
I'm not taking Blahovic. He scored today on the penalty. Good for him. I'm not taking Blahovic anymore.
Okay, so
that train's gone.
How old is he now? Like 20.
I don't know. He sucks.
28, 29 maybe? I don't know, he sucks. Oh shit! I can't keep up
I
with
think
you
I'll
guys
have a
in chat
Hugo
today. I'm
TK
sorry,
over.
I'm trying. I'm multitasking way too much. Like, okay, so all clubs. Let's go to Chelsea. Tammy Abraham.
I'm pretty sure like he got his first season 15. I forgot about his second season, but it was definitely worse then.
Okay, by season. What seasons was he at Chelsea?
20. I want to say 20.
2021, right? That's the season we won the
19,
UCL.
19, 20, and 2021.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's gotta be something like that.
So
Yeah,
2021,
COVID, man.
the season we won the UCL,
No, well,
he was
no,
a
COVID.
12-6. 12-6. Right? Remember that number because I'm gonna.
Was
go
that his
into
first
19.
season?
Oh, 12 and 6. What, you said 12 in 6? I was like, what?
12 goals, 6 assists.
That's his first season.
And that's in all competitions. That's his second season.
Oh, so it's okay.
12-6.
Yeah, for goals, I think
Now
he'd be
I'm going to the
Jackson,
season
yeah.
before that. In all competitions, ladies and gents. 18-6 in the first season.
Wait, he got 18 goals in the Premier League, or was that overall like
In all
comp?
competitions.
How many Premier League? 15.
15, yeah.
Yeah, like I like I said, like I think he just edges over Jackson in goals.
No. He
What,
doesn't.
like, yeah, Jackson in his first season got 14 goals in the Premier
In the
League.
league, yeah.
In the league, but in all competitions.
We didn't play in any other competition, bro. Well, outside of the
Carabao
cup.
Cup, FA Cup, yeah. He scored goals
And
in the
he
Carabao
played.
Cup, FA
Didn't he
Cup.
score like? Didn't
Yeah,
he score like two, 3 goals in the Conference League, Jackson? But
In the Premier
We
League, you
didn't-
can say
no,
that, Chris.
no.
Sure. Go ahead, guys. Sorry.
I was just thinking Premier League in my head, and I was just thinking like he beat him for that. But like,
Sorry, Chad. I'm
league
skipping
for
through
league.
everything.
I don't think there's much of a difference between them both. I didn't really think Tammy as a backup. I wouldn't even care if Tammy was a backup then, but he was our main guy, and it just wasn't good enough either.
Mm-hmm. Jackson doesn't get in any top 8 clubs as a striker.
In the
I
world?
think he gets into
Okay.
Arsenal.
Oh, in the Premier League.
Yeah,
I mean-
I think he gets into Arsenal. He probably
Yeah,
gets
they
into
wouldn't
Tottenham, to be honest. Solanke had a really disappointing season, and he was 60 mil. We
I
paid
mean,
30
he
mil for
could
this
do
guy.
something at Villa.
Yeah, isn't Villa actually interested in Jackson?
Like
Yeah.
this is not talking about starting like player wise. This is
Mhm.
talking about in a club. Like he gets into Villa.
Tammy
he-
actually had
I
a
don't-
purple patch.
But yeah, Tammy. Yeah, like that was
That's
that
a
first-
purple patch.
Yeah, when he had that first season, yeah, like
Jackson had a purple patch too this season,
yeah,
but
this-
last season was not a purple patch.
No.
That he just had a good season.
yeah. I thought.
I'll be
Yeah,
real, this
yeah.
conversation kind of pointless. Like, this all stems from, like I said, some retard thinking that we should sell him for 30 mil. Like,
Yeah, I'm not selling
Outside
Jackson
of that,
for 30
like,
mil. You're crazy if you think I'm doing
he
that.
shouldn't be here next season. Just based on the fact, obviously, we've got Delapin, who, like, will probably end up being number 1 regardless.
But-
Like I said, like,
Mhm.
forget footballing ability, forget finishing ability.
Sure.
His mentality is not good enough. Like, and it doesn't matter how good you are as a player unless you're top tier.
Jackson's fault.
Like-
Nextel.
Like, yeah, if unless you're top tier in terms of ability, your mentality has to be there, and his isn't, quite clearly, with the fact he's got 2 stupid red cards in the space of a month. And we haven't really like seen the yeah, like I said, just retards, man. We haven't really seen like the willingness outside of the LAFC game to like fight. Still the petulant stuff, and he's still not learning. So like, yeah, he can leave.
Yeah, I'm over it. Yeah, no, I'm done. It's
mean-
just, again, bro, like, how do you do that twice? Like, it's just, bro, I don't even think you can get away with that. Like, even if you want to make this like, oh, but he didn't grow up to an academy, it's like, bro, I don't even think you can get away with that in Sunday League. I'll be so real with you.
Oh no, that was a knee breaker,
Yeah,
not
dude,
knee
you
breaker,
can't get away
a
with
leg
that.
breaker.
Like, I don't know. This is particular someone in chat who I think is trying to defend it, saying like, oh, he was trying to step on the ball. Like, bro, you see how? Let me see if I
Oh,
can
no,
find the
it's
picture,
okay.
actually.
But I'll be real,
Hey,
JJ's been talking some absolute nonsense today.
Okay,
Which I've
okay,
kind of been
you
ignoring
said
most
it
of it.
because I'm like, listen,
No,
I
he's
can't
talking
tell if you're
absolute nonsense,
actually
trying to
genuinely
defend
trying
that.
to defend it or not.
trying to defend it. Like, oh, he was trying to do this. No, he was trying to just stamp on a guy's leg for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Like a retard.
I don't know if he's just frustrated.
He probably thought like the player was gonna lift his leg too, but like again, you cannot
assume
you
what
just have to play the ball, my friend. It's called play the ball. Don't play the player, play the ball. Yeah, I'll be there Tuesday. How much is parking, ladies and gents? If you are going to the Philly game, parking is expensive. Parking is $60. Yeah.
Wow. What?
Yeah, it was pricey. Yeah,
And
parking. Actually, no, parking was 60. Parking. I'm sorry. Parking was 30. Both the Fluminense game where I went for free, the parking was $60 at MetLife. Yeah, it's they're hiking up prices. It's insane. Who do you think, Curry? Who do you think? I'm trying to see if I can find an image.
No, Curry is.
We I'll be real. We don't need to see the image, like, because again, most like sane people understand that what he did, there's no defending, and it was a straight red card. Like,
it is 100% a straight red card.
There's no world in which like you can ever.
That doesn't look like he's trying to step on the ball.
Bro, you can see from the zoomed out angle what he's done.
Yeah. I think there was a player, was it Gusto or something? Like his face, like he turned around and he said, "Oh shit!" Like that's over. I'm pretty sure there's a Chelsea player who looked at it.
Bro, 100% he knew what he was doing. Why are you challenging for a football like he is?
He's gone over the ball.
Yeah, what are you trying to do there?
But the only thing, okay, so
he's either dumb as fuck or he just did that on purpose. And I don't know. I think he's just dumb as fuck.
Okay, here I'll put it right here in this frame, right? You could make the argument, and you can't really. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate right here, right?
Right, cool.
If you really wanted to make an argument, you can say, okay, he's trying to step over the ball so he can put his body in front of the Flamengo defender. And to that argument, I would say, here, this frame right here is where you would probably have your foot down already. Let me continue. Foot not down, foot not down, foot not down. Foot's not even coming down at any point.
Forget that. If we're going to do this ludicrous like devil's advocate thing for this,
it's ridiculous.
If you want to get in front of the player to defend the ball, you don't go in with your leg. You fucking idiot. You use your body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just. Oh yeah.
That's what it is. Like, that's how you defend the ball, and it's the same with like the red card he had before against Newcastle. Of like, if you're trying to protect the ball, like get in front of the defender, use your body because they have to go through you to get the ball. Like, that's real basic stuff.
There's no defending this one, in my opinion.
I don't know how you can. I felt like, like I think Cucurella just saving face and just like trying to like obviously protect Jackson, but like he knows
obviously
he knows he fucked up.
Yeah, he 100% fucked up. And like I've been saying, like, to me, yeah. Oh, here we go. Even better. Got it.
There's no saving that one. It's just stupid.
No.
By the way, Marshall, can I ask you a question? Are we going to touch on the Andre Santos at all? Like,
you know what? Today's show, I kind of just went off the radar.
That's fine. All I'm going to say on it,
but yeah, I'll do it next. I'll do it next.
When it comes to the actual game, I just want to touch it just because I'm scrolling through Twitter and there's something I have to get off my chest. And I knew it was going to happen because this fan base, some of these fans love to do the old grapefruit technique and love to do the dick ride, like love to dick ride these sporting directors and these owners.
Okay.
Whether you think he he should have played yesterday or the other day or not is up for debate. The character assassination that I'm seeing for Andre Santos the last couple of days is fucking bullshit and shows me exactly what our fans are on. Where I've said it before and I'll say it again, they would happily have these sporting directors shit in their mouths and face, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?"
Yeah, no, I don't. All right, let's just get into it. Honestly, this show was kind of a dead show anyways because there wasn't really much news. So I kind of had to invent something. So I guess Santos thing, the whole Santos debacle is news, even though it's not really news, just more drama, if anything. But let's just get into it. I mean,
something happened?
Santos demanding playtime. Okay, right. I put this in quotes, and before people start saying, "Oh, you clickbaiting," no. There's a question mark at the end of it because
I mean, you didn't put
that's the narrative that's being put out there. That apparently he's not happy with his minutes and all this and that, and I'm sure he's not. But as far as I'm aware, he's not said a fucking thing about anything. So, and I have my 2 cents on this whole situation, which I'm sure we'll discuss, right? So let's start with this first tweet that I have for you guys in terms of this whole situation, and that's right here. There we go. So starting off with Guardian Sports saying, "It is hoped that Santos is willing to be patient for minutes. Bayern Munich have been linked." We continue on. Andre Santos needs to remember that Chelsea are about to embark on a campaign in which their stamina will be tested by playing in the Champions League. Continuing forward, Ben Jacobs saying this. All right. What I would say is we are going to hear a lot of noise from Andre Santos' camp if he's not getting the minutes. I think Santos is not seeing himself as a number 2 in his head anymore, or head to anyone. He's seeing himself as someone, if he gets a chance to stay in the side, obviously Chelsea have all the cards. Now, chat, bear with me. I'm going to have to ignore you for a few minutes because when it comes to the Santos things, I think a few of you are very touchy about this. So, that being said, I'm going to tab out of the chat just so I can focus on this. All right. Here's where I stand with the Santos situation. Am I happy he hasn't seen any minutes yet? No, not at all. I do want to see the player play. I was pretty happy to see Isugo play. Had a nice little cameo, and I wanted to see Santos coming in that game too. I was disappointed Santos didn't play. I'm disappointed he didn't play against Flamengo as well. Now, this goes back to what I was saying before. This is the school of thought. There's so many reasons why, for me, Santos isn't playing. But the narrative I'm hearing on Twitter, and this is what I don't like, is there can be a million narratives, but people on Twitter, the psychos, the weirdos, like to stick to the worst case scenario and run with it. And the reality of it is that there's a bunch of factors we don't know. Let's be patient about it and see what happens, right? That's where I stand with this. Here's the thing. People are saying that, oh, we're getting ready to sell him. We're getting ready to sell him. Maybe we are getting ready to sell him. And if we are, that proves the point that me and Scott have been saying, that pretty much this is just all for money. We're just trying to get players up. We've been lied to about like, oh, we're gonna, get players young and give them a path to Chelsea and a chance to prove themselves. Bullshit. He's being sold for profit. This whole idea that you're doing that is all for show then, right? He hasn't been sold yet. He's still in the team. And here's the other factors. Here's the other theories. There's a theory that potentially Maresca just doesn't trust him yet, right? Because we know Maresca likes to play players based on trust, players that he likes. He has his favorites, you could even argue. And at this point, there's stupid polls on Twitter by certain Darkos saying Maresca or Santos, and people are literally picking Santos over. You guys are ridiculous. You guys are absolutely ridiculous. You don't deserve anything nice in your life. I'm just gonna be blatant about it. You don't deserve anything. You can't use your brain. You can't logic. It's just your lost cause. Sorry. Stay on Twitter. Be miserable. I don't care. Now, Maresca does like to have players play that he trusts, right? He manages minutes as well, all that fun stuff. He likes to play Reese. He'll play Reese, but he won't play him all the time. He likes to play Malo Gusto for whatever reason. He trusts Malo Gusto, even though Malo Gusto has failed him multiple times in terms of defensively and all that. He will play Malo Gusto over a youngster in Renato Vega at left back. We've seen how many times he'll play Malo Gusto over a youngster in Achinpong. We've seen how many times we'll play Nani or Neto or Sancho over Tariq George. So in terms of players, he does like to trust the older contingency, right? And I think you can see, based on previous selections, choices, the trend is there, right? So we're talking based off of facts and stats and tendencies that we've seen. The other theory is, you could argue maybe he's trying to protect the player because of the hype, because everyone's talking about him. Everyone has eyes on him. He doesn't want to put him in a high pressure situation because maybe Maresca is trying to actually win this tournament. And that goes back to the factor of like, a lot of you guys have been saying one thing in one way and then talking out your ass in another thing. So some of people are saying, oh, Maresca should be taking this seriously. This is a trophy. We get money out of it. And then out of your asshole, you're saying, but you should experiment with Santos. And bro, why are you going to experiment with a player that just came into your team? You probably not watched much of him outside of the small break that you may have had. And you're going to put him into a tournament that you're trying to win. When you have players that, okay, these players have shown me you can get top 4. These players have shown me they can win a trophy. Let me just stick with these players. He's going to have players he trusts. So maybe he's protecting him because maybe there's too much hype about him. Maybe this isn't the perfect game, which I don't agree with, by the way. I think Flamengo would have been a good game to put him in, but that's just my opinion, right? I don't see what's happening on training. There's chemistry issues that could potentially play a factor. There's a factor that maybe for this game in particular, he's not trying to risk him with that. Like, there's so many other things outside of just selling him. Am I ignoring the fact that they could sell him? No, I think that there is a potential they could sell him, but I'm not losing my mind over 2 games where he hasn't played. Am I disappointed about it? Of course I am. Yeah, I'm disappointed he hasn't played yet. But there's still so much of the season to go that he could play. And I could be wrong about all the other theories I said.
I'm fucking tired of this fan base. I'm fucking tired, man.
I haven't been looking at the chat, so if they're losing their mind, then so be it.
I'm scrolling through Twitter. I fucking despise this fan base. Like,
where do you stand on this, Scott?
Bro, it's bullshit. Like, it's straight up bullshit. Like, it's funny as fuck to me, by the way, because it's the same people. Like, I said this the other day on Lewis's stream. I think I said it on Ahmed's stream. Maybe I'm gonna say it again here. There are certain people, and if you've watched Lewis's stream and you've heard me speak about this, you know who I'm talking about. There are certain people in this fan base that will do anything and everything to dick ride for these owners and these sporting directors, and even Maresca at times. Yeah, like, Maresca's not really who I'm focusing on, even though like he should be picking Santos, and I think there are reasons why he isn't, which goes back to what you said, Marshall, about the trust thing and about he just has his favorites. But these like parasites, that's what they are in this fan base. So I want to dick ride everything the sports director's doing. It's funny now, by the way. All we heard last season was about Santos was positives, nothing but positives. You got people talking about, I've seen him at Vasco da Gama. I've seen him play for the U18s or the U13s for Brazil. I know what this guy's on. I know he's going to be good. He's going to be great for us. Sure. These are the same people, by the way, trying to do this character assassination for him. And if he gets sold, not when, because I don't know if it happens, if he gets sold, will be the same pussy holes saying, oh, but he wasn't that good. We were overrating him. He wasn't even that good in France. Same dudes. They'll be the same dudes. Bookmark it. What are we? This is nearly midnight for me on the 22nd of June. Bookmark it. It will happen because I've seen it happen before with everyone else. And I've noticed I've seen a tweet here as well, because I've seen a tweet about Santos, and the quote tweet here is, every player they want to sell, they do this exact same line: attitude issues or wants to be guaranteed starter, and the project cheerleaders always blindly believe and turn on the player. Exactly the same happened with Petrovic. It's now happening with Santos. Yeah, it's the same bullshit every time. Because all of this, by the way, because all these retards, I can't believe I have to explain this, but people are actual retards, so I have to explain it. There's 2 parts to this. Number one, this idea that, but he's not starting over Caicedo or Enzo. Motherfucker, Maresca played Reece James in midfield yesterday.
This is true.
What do you mean he can't start over both? He doesn't have to. We played a 3-man midfield yesterday. You fucking retards. And he's played a 3-man midfield in other games this season. You fucking retards. Secondly, I thought he's trying to take the competition seriously. We're talking about one of the best midfielders in Ligue 1 last season. Sorry, what do you mean? So you're telling me Santos isn't good enough to play in the Club World Cup? Is what we're saying now. Because if we start him, we obviously can't win the competition. Like I said, it's this nonsense, and these fucking idiots in the fan base, who, like I said, they're parasites. They're absolute parasites in this fan base, who want to like gaslight and tell you everything that these guys are doing. Like, these are the same pieces of shit, by the way. And I'm gonna call them what they are. They're pieces of shit. They're the same people that if we sign Garnacho, and if we were signing guys like that, they would like say, "Oh, it's fantastic, it's amazing." They'd be gassing up Garnacho. Say we signed Onana, "Oh, Onana's fantastic." Let's say we signed Højlund, "Oh, Højlund's amazing." The same people. If we sign these pieces, if we sign these players that are dog shit, that we know are dog shit because we've watched them in this league for years and they're dog shit, these will be the same pieces of shit gassing them up because they have to. Because like Johnny Minerals, unfortunately, they've become the thing they hate. Like Johnny Minerals, they now have a gimmick that they have to follow, they have to commit to. If they don't commit to the gimmick, they look like morons, they're like frauds, which is what they are anyway, and they will get shown up eventually because they always do. Same people, by the way. And if you want names, people know who I'm talking about. Go watch Lewis's stream enough times and you'll understand. It's these two in particular I'm talking about, but it's also others that I see online as well on Twitter. But I'm being told, Anselmino's the next big thing. Motherfucker's played how many minutes since he came back from January? Oh, that's right, none. He's the next big thing. He's better than Colwell. He's better than Chalobah. He's better than Tosin. He's better than all these centre-backs. No minutes. None. Like I told you he was going to get no minutes. Because playing 1,000 minutes in the Argentinian league don't mean shit.
I think it's on both ends. And today, this is why, today I'm just in a cold mood. I don't care because I've seen so many, like, just over-the-top Chelsea fans. First of all, this, in my opinion, this is so much more dramatic than what it actually needs to be. Like, there's no reason why the fan base should be losing their heads this much about Andre Santos not playing in 2 Club World Cup games than what it is. Like, it's just, there's no reason why. But you know how these journalists work. They put out a lot of stuff, right? Malagusto, Nicholas Jackson, Ekitike. Oh, Ekitike's dying out. Let's invent something on Santos. Bro, as far as I'm aware...
Can I just say...
Go ahead. On
the Santos thing, I sit somewhere in the middle because I think some of the rhetoric about it is just that, and I think some of it is a little bit over the top. However, where I sit with it is I can understand where some of the worry comes from, even though it is so early. I agree, because unfortunately, with this club and with this manager in the short time he's been here, there is a pattern. Unfortunately. Like, what we're seeing now with Anselmino, not Anselmino, I keep seeing people put Anselmino in the chat. What we're seeing from Santos is not too dissimilar from what we see from other players. Like, it's what I said yesterday, for example, on Ahmed. I think it was yesterday on Ahmed's channel. With like, he's got his favourites. Maresca has. You can clearly see it. Sure. And I think that's why he picks certain people to play at certain times, because it's people he trusts. And you see, like, when Lavia was fit, came into the team straight away. There was none of this, oh, is he ready to play for Chelsea? Is he ready to do this? Is he ready to do that? Came into the team straight away, by the way, off injuries. No one was saying nothing about Lavia then. I probably were, because I know there's people that don't rate Lavia. But most of the people weren't saying, oh, but is he ready to start? I don't know if Lavia can play. I don't know if he's better than Caicedo and Enzo. He played straight away, immediately. And then he got injured again. So it is what it is. And we've seen that, like, and I'm not saying that Santos is on the level of these players. He's definitely better than the 2 players I'm about to mention. But I have to use some examples, and they are relevant examples in what I'm talking about. You look at the way he used Nkunku and Felix. Like, there were opportunities for them to be used, and he just didn't use them. He just flat out did not use them. And so there is a world in which, and I don't think it happens, or I think it's more I hope it doesn't happen. There's 100% a world I can see where in January, Santos has played about 100 to 200 minutes in all comps. Which is like, if that's the case, he's leaving. Because he's got offers, there's not offers, there's interest from Bayern already. I would not be surprised if there was more interest came along. Apparently there's been interest from Arsenal, but I don't think we would ever sell him there. So there are teams that want him. Like I said, I also don't think that it's more hope. I hope it doesn't get to that stage, because I hope that it is just a thing in the moment of him not playing, and like hopefully we see him in pre-season, then he starts to get minutes off the bench. But yeah, so I think it's just a case of down to Maresca. Like, you see the what he's done in terms of the Gusto thing with Vega. Just felt comfortable with Gusto, so played him left back. Made no sense to play Gusto left back, none whatsoever. Yep. Same, literally exact same situation with the game the other day. Made absolutely no sense to play Reece James in midfield, none. Like, you can't justify that. What people can, but they're literally talking out their arsehole. Like, that you cannot legislate for playing Reece James in midfield when there are 4 other midfielders on the bench. Like I said, I don't even care if you play KDH in midfield. At least that makes more sense because he's a midfielder. Mm-hmm. It was the same thing, and it's just because who he's comfortable with. Like, you can't play Lavia for 2 games in a row because of how brittle he is. He's not going to play KDH because KDH is bottom of the totem pole, and the other 2 guys have just joined, so he doesn't trust them.
Yeah, he definitely sees Reece James as a better midfielder choice than KDH, especially in that partnership with Caicedo.
So that's what I'm saying. I think I said this as well before. Like, there's a part of me, and people may disagree. I said this on Arno's channel. There's a part of me next season that thinks if they're both available, he's probably picking, and if one of them is still here, he's probably picking Madueke over Esteban. Whether that's the right decision or not in your mind is up for debate. But
I agree with that.
Probably going to do that because he trusts Madueke more.
I mean, Madueke, obviously.
I think if we were to get an Ekatike, I think the Lap is still our starting striker because he's more comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
Even if Ekatike might be the better player, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, or more suits the Premier League, I don't know. He's still going to play the Lap because he's more comfortable with him. And like I said, all I'm hoping is that it doesn't cost us the player long term. Because, like, regardless of how you feel about him, he should be starting the next game. Mm-hmm. Not minutes off the bench. Not small cameo here and there. Should be playing from the start.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know. I don't think this is going to happen. But let's just entertain this hypothetical that if Andre Santos starts and we lose against...
and he has to be poor, by the way.
Good, I hope we do.
Yeah.
If we lose, then none of the blame is going to go on Santos, likely. They're going to go on Maresca for doing it. Which, again, it's a lose-lose from Maresca. Come on, Scott, you see this fan base,
okay, can I ask a question? Are you aiming this in terms of, like, most of the fan base, or like the people with room temperature? Are you talking about the people that have room temperature IQ that lick windows? Or are you talking about the most of the fan base?
I think both, to be honest.
Cool. So yeah, the people who have room temperature IQ that lick windows on a daily basis, like, they are going to crash it on Maresca no matter what happens.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, he could be good and they'll crash it on him because he should have played in the last game. He could be bad and they'll crash it on him because he was bad and it'll be the system or something, and whatever. If we lose, it depends on what. Like, most rational people who have more than 2 brain cells and can do critical thinking will understand of, like, it depends what the reason is. Because, like, the reason I say that Maresca was mostly at fault for the game the other day is because he changed too many things at once, which made the whole team look, like, for lack of a better term, discombobulated. Like, just looked off. There was no cohesion. Like, you can put, like, for example, you can put Reece James in midfield and keep the system the same way. Okay, I don't like it, but that makes sense. What you can't do is change the shape of the team, change the style of play, change at least 2 players' positionings in terms of where they played for most of the season, and change the centre partnership again, and start a new striker in a team that he's not played with before. Like, it's too many changes at once. But yeah, so it depends on this. Like, if we play really well against Tunis, and, you know, they score a scrappy goal or a scrappy corner that's a mistake of Gusto again if he plays. Actually, if Gusto starts again, I will criticise Maresca, but, like, it's a mistake of Sanchez. I'm not criticising Maresca for that.
Sorry.
Actually, know what this guy's on. He's, like, actually, like, one of those window lickers I was talking about. Like, 2 brain cells.
I just want to see Santos to give a chance though with this Chelsea team, like get some minutes in obviously as a bench player, like come on and like do something. I don't really expect him to start or nothing, but yeah, I like to see.
No, he should start in the next game.
I think he
Like,
should.
if
we can experiment with Reece and all that and Gusto
This
still
is a-
like.
this is another thing. Sorry to interrupt. This is another thing with Maresca. Like, you now have depth in a position where you didn't last season. These guys need to be rotated. Caicedo has already played too many games with no rest. You can rotate him out. That's fine, because if the depth is good enough, which we think it is, like the reason why we want us to play is because we saw how he played for Strasbourg and how he dominated that league. But he's suddenly not able to come into this team and perform against a Tunisian team and like against an MLS team, and he's not able to perform in the Premier League, even though the like switch from Liga into the Premier League is the easiest, like is the most translatable. Like, it doesn't make sense. He's the second coming of Essien up until he joins us. Now he's shit. X-Tower,
Is it an MLS another team we're facing?
This thing, by the way, it's majority, so it's 6. You can change 5 players because PSG did that. So you're telling me he can't be one of the 5 changes because we have to play Kukurea. There you go. There's 1 of the 6. Sanchez has to play. There's 2 of the 6. Cole has to play. There's 3 of the 6. Tosin can come back in. There's 4 of the 6. Reece James can start again. There's 5 of the 6. You put Neto in. There you go. There's 6 of the 6. Now you can change both midfielders. Dummy.
Is Marshall talking?
You're
Shit, I
mute.
forgot I was muted.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
you're not muted.
Okay, I was thinking.
I was. I'll also say this though. I do think that if against Tunisia we see, or Tunis, but if we see Tunis, and we see Santos starting in that one, that tells me Maresca's not serious. He's treating this like a preseason. Because we just talked about the whole trust issue and all that stuff, right? Like he plays the players because he trusts them. If this is a tournament you want to go far in, and oh my God, how did you miss that, Salzburg? Oh my God. Then it's a must-win game. You play your strongest lineup, the players that you know can get you the results. And this is going back to, again, like where we think Maresca, he has his favorites. He's not going to play Santos.
Why?
If it's a must-win game, he's not going to play Santos. He's not going
Why?
to. He doesn't like to underestimate the opposition. We saw it in the Conference League.
I don't know. I feel like Enzo Maresca, like
He would do it in the second leg, right?
No, Marshall. We threw away a cup last season because he rotated the entire 11.
The Carabao Cup against Newcastle.
Yes,
you're referring.
He
to.
rotated the entire.
That was
11.
early in the season. I think early in the season he
Cool.
thought that B squad was
higher
good enough.
11. Like, again, Marshall, do you rate Santos?
No, I rate Santos.
Cool. Then why
I think
is
if
he
we start with
starting
Santos,
against-
I think if we start with Santos, we still win.
well, there you go.
So what?
It's
So
not
why
my.
is
It's
it-
not my opinion. It's Maresca's opinion. I'm
How
just
do you
thinking
know
from
that's-
Maresca's
wait,
point of view.
But how would you know Dustin Maresca's opinion? He doesn't trust it. Like, surely he
Because
trusts
we've
him.
seen it with the
What?
consistencies.
Not
Like
serious.
I know what
Yeah.
Scott's talking about with the Carabao Cup, and I would agree. But I think that was Maresca's inexperience at the time, and saying, "Okay, I have a good B team. Let's try it out." And then when the B team failed to perform, and then when the B team failed to perform again in a later game, I think it was the Legia Warsaw game, then he started to realize, you know what? This B team isn't nearly as good as I thought it was. And if I risk it again with this B team, the whole entire Conference League tournament, I could potentially lose a round, and then I'm under pressure, and then can potentially get knocked out. Especially if I go, like imagine if we lost the first leg of Legia Warsaw, and then we have to go up against a low block Legia Warsaw in the second game. I don't fancy our chances of winning that in the second leg. So I think he's gonna go out with a strong lineup if he's taking it seriously.
No,
And if he doesn't,
why are we assuming that like you can go out with a strong lineup and Santos still be a part of that? That's what I don't understand here.
I just don't see him dropping Enzo or Caicedo.
Then he's an idiot.
He usually never
But
does. Even in his
you can
conference
play-
games, he's never done it.
Then he's an idiot because you now have the depth that you didn't have last season and you're not using it. That means if we already, by the way, I'm not I don't think, touch wood, it doesn't happen. We saw against LAFC there was a moment where Caicedo, I don't know what he did, but it looked like he might have injured himself. And we all, I would say most of us who are watching that game, shat ourselves slightly, as we do most of the time when it's him or Cucurella because of how key they are to this team. Give him a rest. This guy has played every single game, I think, that he's been available for outside of some Conference League games.
Didn't he break Aspie's record, or did the same as Aspie, for games
JC,
played?
He can't play 11 different players. He has to play 6 starters. I just went through earlier. He can play, you're telling me, hang on, if we play a starting 11 of Sanchez, Cucurella, Colwill, Tosin, James, Lavia, Santos, Neto, Palmer, Madueke, Delap, is that serious?
I would say so.
Yeah.
He's made 5 changes. No, he hasn't even made 5 changes. He made 3 changes to first 11 players. And Santos still starts, and you get Lavia in there as a defensive midfielder. There you go. 3 changes and Santos starts.
We also got to remember, Santos is not a youngster player from the academy. He hasn't got any experience. This is a guy who killed it in the French league, as I hear. I'm not going to pretend I really watch the French league, but I hear a lot of good things with Santos, and he played the majority of the season, and he's one of the key players for Strasbourg. And yeah, exactly. This is not if we sign Santos for 30, 40 million, 50, we'll be expecting to start, and he is worth he would be worth 50 million easily, I think, the season he's had. So we would be expecting Delap, he's getting to start games because we brought him in and to improve our attack. It's just we already owned him and we brought him out a young more inexperienced, and he's got that experience. So I don't think it's the same. So if Enzo Maresca starts,
I don't want any complaints, by the way, if Caicedo gets injured. If you want him to play constantly every game, every week in, week out against Tunis,
they will the fans will complain.
No.
Enzo Maresca can't win that situation.
Don't worry, I'll clip it. We'll come back to this. Obviously, like I said, I'm not wishing injury on him. That would be the worst thing that could happen to us. But you same people who want him to play week in, week out, every single week, 90 minutes. Which, when it comes to the league, yes, cool. You can play him 90 minutes week in, week out in the league and Champions League. Because that makes sense. You have an opportunity now, because we're playing Tunis. No disrespect to Tunis, they barely beat LAFC. In the first half, they got dominated by LAFC.
Oh, they played them. Okay, yeah.
Second half, they came out and were a lot better. But first half, they got dominated by LAFC. You can play a midfield of Lavia and Santos and win that game. Because if you can't, then there's something wrong with this team.
Yeah. Listen,
he should start.
I'm all for doing it. I just don't think Maresca will. I don't think he's taking this tournament lightly. I know he experimented with that lineup against Flamengo. I do think there was also a bit of overthinking on that one. But I do think I don't have that much of an issue with Santos not playing because there's so much of the season to go on that you can have an opportunity to prove yourself from Maresca. And I think once you get that one game to prove yourself, there's potential you'll get more games to prove yourself. And there's also, even in this tournament alone, let's say he doesn't play. Let's say we do beat Tunisia. I don't think we walk out of Tunisia without one of these players not getting a yellow. I think Moises Caicedo could potentially get another yellow. We've seen how the refs can be in some of these games. Sometimes they're,
That's another reason, by the way. That's another reason. I didn't even think about this. Caicedo should not play against Tunis. Because if he gets that yellow card, which he might do, because the yellow card he got in the last game wasn't even his fault, it was Gusto's fault. That could happen again. Who knows? Apparently we've got another ref who's very card happy in the next game. That's him out for Bayern Munich, by the way. That's Caicedo out for Bayern Munich. Then what?
Oh, Bayern Munich's our next game in the knockouts?
Yes. We get through, it's guaranteed, basically, to be Bayern Munich.
Guaranteed knockout after that.
Unless something nuts happen, for it not to be Bayern Munich, Benfica would have to win against them.
Yeah, beat Bayern Munich. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, like this. Sorry, this is it. Like, you have to work around this. You also have to tell them not to be stupid with yellow cards. But it's really annoying.
Like it makes sense actually. Think about the cards. Yeah,
like,
take off Caicedo and save him for like.
I just don't think. I get what Scott's saying. I just don't think. I don't understand the rush to get Santos into the team. Like,
is it really rush?
Like it seems that way because real quick, Scott. Real quick, Scott. Outside of the fact that people are scared that he might get sold, which again, I think it's only been 2 games in a competition that some of you guys have said, take it seriously. It's another trophy. It's money. Cool. Then let the manager pick a team that he trusts. He wants to take it seriously. He's not going to take chances with players he just got. Dario, just to give an example as well, people keep mentioning, but he gave Dario Sugo minutes. He gave Dario Sugo minutes. Dario Sugo came on immediately after we scored our second goal against LAFC. Had we not scored that second goal, I severely doubt Dario Sugo comes on. So, in terms of, like, these players getting minutes, you have a jam-packed season worth of many games, even in this tournament alone, where he will play. This doesn't need to be like EAFC, where you pack a brand new team of the season card and now you want to immediately use it. Like, bro, your team wasn't even bad to begin with outside of the Flamengo game. You still had a functional team. Like, you don't need to change anything immediately. Just test it out, keep winning. So once you start losing, then you start experimenting with a few things and changing things up.
Wait, we start losing.
Go ahead,
Marshall.
Go ahead, Scott.
I understand, like, the there's no rush.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want him to play before the start of the season? Like, get minutes with the first team?
Yeah, like maybe come in as a sub, but I'm not gonna sweat.
He has 5 games to do. He has 5 games to do that then.
Yeah, Marshall, in your vlog, you even said you wanted to see Santos come on as I remember.
I did. No, I still do, Chris. Don't get me wrong. I did. But because we were losing, I also understand why he didn't come on. Like, what is Santos going to do against Flamengo when we're losing? And like I said earlier on when we did the little review, I was happy with the lineup. I thought that lineup, outside of Gusto, was good enough to beat Flamengo.
Marshall, this is a team he's played against multiple times. And I could be wrong because I don't.
When he was at Vasco da Gama, I know.
Yeah, I could be wrong as well because I don't know the rivalries, but apparently people were saying this is like one of their biggest rivals, and like this is one of the teams that's like most hated in terms of the team that he came through. I don't know if that's true, but apparently, if that is the case, then bro, that's the exact type of player I want, considering how easily our midfield was getting bypassed. And how just lackluster it looks in general, and how the fact our midfield could not get near them, could not get near a 35-year-old or whatever he is, Jorginho, and a guy that's played in Serie A for a large portion of his career.
I respect Jorginho.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you were thinking the same too, man.
I was. I actually was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like he's gonna.
He was chilling though. Jorginho was chilling.
He's gonna have that like.
He's my dude.
Like, dude, I don't know what the best way to describe it. It's just that hunger, just to beat them. And just to bring that level of like what they were doing to us in that first half, and well, just the whole game in terms of getting into us, he's going to bring that to them because he understands just from his like it's the same way of like, you know how like Chelsea players always get up for like when we face Tottenham.
Yeah,
same thing. It's like they just understand. They understand the assignment, and like it could have been the same thing. Obviously, it could have not gone well. Like we don't know. It should have.
I'm glad you said that though. It could have also not gone well. Like, I mean, at least you admit that.
He has to get minutes before the start of the season. He has 5 games left, providing we make it through to the group stages, which I think we will. I think we'll beat Tunis. It's 5 games, and to be fair, he may only have 4 because I still have not like we've got 3 friendlies, but one of them is behind closed doors. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them is behind closed doors, and I don't know who's going to play because it's like. I think it's at the start of July. So I think it'll either start or middle of July. I think it's in the middle of July, actually, sorry. So I don't actually know whether anyone's. I think it's like a few days after the final of the Club World Cup, so I don't know who actually is going to play in that.
Yeah.
Might just be like youth players. So if that's the case, he's got 4 games between now and the start of the season to play minutes.
You're not wrong, but I get where you guys are coming from by mentioning the Vasco da Gama Flamengo rivalry. I get that. It probably means fuck all to Maresca. Like, we gotta, and me and Scott and Chris have been doing this show, but like we gotta base it off of what we've seen Maresca do. And what we've seen Maresca do is he won't play players immediately. He doesn't like to play youngsters often unless it's going to be a game where you can afford to take those sacrifices, you know? Like, how many times have we asked for Acheampong? And how many times have Acheampong actually been, you know, summoned to do a job? And when he has done, he's played a good game, but then he doesn't get, you know, he has one mistake against Bournemouth, which arguably you could say wasn't really a mistake. It was just Semenyo had a world.
It wasn't a mistake. If anything, it was a Sanchez error. But
yeah, but then that one cost him, right? So he will give youth minutes. And let's be honest, Santos, he's 23, 22?
He's pretty young. Like, not like super young, but he's
21. He's not super young. He's not super young. He will have his minutes. I'm almost certain he will use him. I'm not. Why did he give Isugo minutes in the first game ahead of Santos? Probably because Isugo is literally a direct replacement for Caicedo, who he wanted to take off for minutes, and it was immediately after we scored the second goal. If we were 1-0 down, Jabo, if we were 1-0 up, he probably still sticks with Caicedo in there just to secure the game. That's my reasoning. That's why I think he did it. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe he just doesn't rate Santos or some shit. Maybe they want to sell him. Maybe. I'm just saying, maybe that's a possibility. But that's not the only possibility. Which is why when I talk to the chat, when I talk to you guys on Twitter, I hate when you guys say that's the only reason. No, there's multiple reasons. We just discussed multiple.
But maybe I don't look at
Scott thinks it's potentially a sale.
JC, that's also not true.
What?
I was definitely JC's comment in the chat. That's not true. But carry on.
Oh, okay. I think it's just patience, really, because Maresca has the players that he trusts, which Scott agrees with me on that. But Scott leans more towards that. It looks like they could potentially sell him. It is kind of concerning.
Oh no, I'm not saying they can. I'm just saying it. Like I've said this before with the whole Santos thing. Like I can see both sides, and I'm fence-sitting a little bit because.
Sure.
I can see both worlds. I can see a world in which he plays a bunch of minutes.
Fence it because it's only been 2 games.
Yeah, like I can see a world where like he plays a bunch of minutes and he's a key piece and like he gets plenty of opportunities to play. I can 100% see that. I can also see the other side because we've seen it happen last season where he plays 100. Like he played like 200 minutes till between now and January.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've seen that with other players, and yes, I think he's better than those other players, but he's still. Play like that was still the case. And so I can also see a world in which the club would sell him if a good enough offer came in. I've said this before. I think if an offer came in of like 80 million, I genuinely think the club would think about it. But that's only because I see what they've done just in general since they've been here, and it gives me that vibe. Obviously, if it happens and they turn it down, then I stand to be corrected. And I'm fine to be corrected. It's just I can only go off what I've seen so far, you know. But just on the Maresca thing as well, like everything that has been said about him in terms of stubbornness, because I think there's a stubbornness, not necessarily in terms of like his tactics and stuff, even though I think, there is to a point, there's a stubbornness in terms of who he plays. It's the same reason why I don't want a guy like João Pedro, like this Swiss Army knife type player that they keep talking about, they want to get, which is such a stupid, like it's such a daft thing to be looking for, like. No club I can think of actively looks for this type of player as like their key profile in the squad. Like I'm trying to think of like top level clubs that have had players like this, and like who, like if anyone can think of anyone else, like signings that ended up becoming this, or were signings that were signed for this purpose at top high level clubs. Like please correct me, but the only one I can think of that became this. There's 2 I can think of that became this, but were not signed for this, and that's Camavinga and that's Bernardo Silva.
Yeah. I can't think of
Milner's not a bad
profile
shout, but I was on a free. Like, I think you saying Milner kind of highlights my issue
like the
with this in terms
embodiment of a Swiss Army knife player.
He is, but like they signed him on a free. He was a Swiss Army knife for like he was multiple different positions. It wasn't Tchouaméni was not signed to be a Swiss Army knife player. In fact, he played centre back just because they had injury. They signed him to be a DM. He just doesn't play or didn't play. Milner's exactly the thing I'm talking about in terms of if you're going to sign this type of player, cool. I'm not saying the players don't get signed. I'm talking about they aren't hyper fixated on to the point where you're willing to spend £84 million on a player that fits that profile. That's stupid. That's absolutely daft. So yeah, I think it's stupid, and I also think it's a case of like, what's it called, with the João Pedro thing of like, it'll be another one. We signed him for 50 million. He'll play 200 minutes between now and like January, and then he's potentially getting sold on and wants to move because he's not playing minutes. Because, like I said, you've got to get with this. There's two things. You've got to get a player who can actually play multiple positions, which I think João Pedro can. I'm just using him as an example because it's someone I've spoken about before, and we have been linked with him. And number two, you've got to hope that Maresca plays him. If he doesn't play him, then what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
He's not.
For no reason.
He's not an upgrade on Jackson too. Like I don't see the point of it.
No, yeah,
he might be, but like if you're going to be the backup striker, cool. Like if this is the thing, like they have this idea of Ekitike. If you're going to get Ekitike because he is versatile, the primary vision is he's going to be the striker. Fine. It's why I'm not too annoyed about like the Kudus thing, because like at least with Kudus, he's gonna be the right winger, right? It's just he can cover the 10 if need be.
Mm-hmm.
This is also the thing. I think that I'm fine with, but it's my thing of like we're trying to find someone to cover like 4 different positions, none of which they're going to be the starter at.
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
And listen, chat, everyone on Twitter, whoever the hell's watching, I'll say this, right? If we have another Maresca or another Renato Vega situation with Andre Santos, where there's opportunities for him to have minutes and clear opportunities for you to pick him to play over any other player, and you opt to move a player out of their position to play a position that could be Santos' position, and then we're seeing like what Scott's saying, 200 minutes played so far in the season by January, and then he's asking for a move. I think that's a penalty. And then he's asking for a move.
No, he's a right winger.
I will be right here where you guys always find me, and I will be crashing it on Maresca. I will be crashing it on Maresca, and I will also put it on the directors too. What are we building? What is the team we're doing? If you were supposed to bring in this player to play into the system, then what the fuck are we doing? If he doesn't fit into Maresca's system, this isn't the player that Maresca wants, then why didn't you just sell him when you had a chance? Why did we wait this long? So on and so forth. I'll be here to criticize it. But the reason you don't hear me criticizing it now is because it's been 2 games into the new season, right? Because this is still a continuation of last season based on the zone and how they're putting up stats. They're putting up all the stats from the season that just passed. So this is still counting as a season. Also, when you think about it, it makes sense to count it as this season because it's literally kind of been an international break and then we're straight into this tournament. So there's not been like a long gap between the Premier League ending and the Champions League and all that stuff ending and this. So that's kind of where I'm at with the situation. Like, obviously, I want to see Santos play. I really do. You know, as much as you hear me going, ole, 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 Jorginho, whatever, I wanted to see Santos play. But I understand if Maresca is taking this competition seriously, maybe not taking a chance with Santos, maybe it's protecting him. Guys, I'm telling you right now, Scott, you probably agree with me. Chris, you probably agree with me. When Estevao is ready to be in this team, don't expect to see him for a few games. Don't expect to even see him see substitute minutes. Actually, you might, because we are really short on wingers right now. But don't expect to see him immediately start. Don't even be surprised if in the first 3 games he doesn't even come on as a sub. Because this is just the way Maresca seems to be moving.
Wait, you're on about
I
for
could
the
be
season?
I could
or-
be completely wrong about that with the Isugo we're not going to really have a preseason with him. We're going to have like 2 games, AC Milan and the other game.
Wait,
I
there's
forget
2
which one.
preseason games? I thought there's 1.
There's AC Milan and then
Yeah,
there's
there's-
another one.
There's
What was the other
3.
one? I forgot.
No, there's 3. One is against Bromley, but that's the one that's like literally middle of July. So I think they're probably going to end up playing like just the youth team for that. Then we've got one on the 3rd, which is Bayer Leverkusen, and one on the 10th, which is AC Milan.
Oh yeah, Leverkusen. There you go.
No, sorry, it's not a week apart. It's a few days apart. I think it's the 7th. It's Bayer Leverkusen, and then it's the 10th that it's AC Milan.
So yeah, that's what I'm getting at, guys. Because yeah, I'm just not losing my shit about it right now. I genuinely don't think it's that deep. And I should iterate this, by the way. Scott alluded to it, but I'm gonna iterate this. I don't think Santos is coming out and saying a fucking thing about I need to play minutes. I see myself as a first team player. I think Santos very much understands that he's going to be at most a rotation player this season, just because of the amount of competition, just because Lavia, Enzo, and Caicedo are no mugs either. Like this idea that some of you guys in chat or some of you guys on Twitter think that Santos just walks into this team is absolutely crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. Like, you can rate him if you want. That's fine. But I'm sorry. On what premise in the what proof of in Premier League have you seen Santos can give you the amount of goals and assists that Enzo Fernandez has given you this season? What makes you think that he's going to bench Caicedo? And we've seen Lavia play seldomly because of injuries, right? But most times it's not been the 3 of them. It's been either 2 of the 3. So I'm going to go into this pretending that like you're likely not going to see all these games with Caicedo at right back converting into midfield. It's mostly going to be Caicedo in the midfield with Enzo Fernandez. So there's really only 2 positions, realistically, that you're going to see consistently. This idea that Santos is just going to walk into this team is crazy to me. And a lot of you guys actually eat it up.
Do you, I don't know, do you think like Chelsea, Enzo Maresca will go the same type of like lineup style like he did from last season with a 4-2-3-1 formation, like 4 attackers?
I think he's going to stick with the 4 attackers, 5 attackers thing. For sure.
I don't know. I'm just thinking like the amount of midfielders you've got in, like Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, and Santos if we keep him as well. Like if we don't keep Santos, then yeah, fair enough. But like if we keep Santos, like
DHL, you know what? Enzo Fernandez this season, he had a purple patch. Right, guys?
He was solid in the first season as well. Like
No,
he had
no, no, he
definitely
had a purple patch.
bad moments, but like
It's purple patch.
this season he's been better. So
No. It's not this season. It's his purple patch.
and the World Cup he was really good.
This purple patch. Yeah.
No, he's a great
Enzo
midfielder.
Fernandez had a purple patch this season, based on your logic, right, DHL?
And we got very lucky. Again, Enzo and Caicedo in this team.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we did really good as a business is bring the midfield in. Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo. It's perfect. We literally set ourselves for like 8 years plus or something, or 6 years or whatever. 6 to 8 years, easy.
Yeah.
It's just our
When
attacking
Santos walks
options
into
not
this
too
team
good.
and has one bad game, everyone will try to. Yeah. That's why I also
do
think
think
part of it is
with-
protecting the player. Part of it.
With the Santos thing, I do actually agree with what Jabo said a moment ago. Like, I don't know whether Santos, because I've said this before, I don't know whether Santos benches, what's his face, Enzo, in terms of like, or not bench. I think he does. He has the ability to bench Enzo. What I meant to say is,
Yes.
apologies, I misspoke. I don't think he has the ability to match
I'm on my
Enzo's
purple patch
production.
right now.
Yeah, I don't know if he has the ability to match Enzo's production, but I do think there is a possibility that having him in the team brings more balance to the midfield. Because as good as Enzo was last season, as good as Enzo was about half of last season, because don't forget that was the first, 2/3, sorry. The first 3 months was shit.
Yeah, 2/3. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
he had two really good 2/3 of the season. Like, we do have to also admit that defensively there's still question marks. Like, he does at least try. Like, the effort in terms of doing the defensive work and the work is there. I don't always think it's successful. Santos, with how he's played this season, which is playing the double pivot this season, could what's it called? Like, he could bring more balance in terms of just be more defensively solid. He's just maybe not going to give you the same amount of GA. But the hope is, because like with the problem we've got in this team is we shouldn't, as good as what Enzo did last season in terms of numbers, I don't think we, especially the goals, we shouldn't have to rely on Enzo for that, because that should be the job of the wingers and the striker. Like, I'd have preferred it last season if Enzo had less goals, but Jackson had more goals. Now, at the end of the day, Enzo getting the goals he did, fantastic. But yeah, so I'm saying, like, even if you end up maybe losing some goals and assists from Santos, hope is, from my point of view, you end up getting more from, you know, Neto and Delap and whoever the other winger is that we have in the team, whether it's Esteval, whether it's Gittens, although maybe not at this point, maybe Fofana, whoever. Like, that's the hope. But yeah, as I said, it's something to consider, and I think it's something I want to see, because then we can see how it works. Like, if it goes horribly wrong, like, then we know, right? Like, if we see it for like 5-6 games and it goes horribly wrong, then we know, okay, that's not something we can do. But at least we've learned. Like, we've seen it happen and we understand. You know, it was the same with like the Palmer right wing thing. He never did it, or he did like 2 games. Like, he did it against City where he was decent. Actually, no, did he even play City?
He did. He came. He did. He played on the right wing at the start of the season.
We didn't see him again, did we? Apart from the game, what's it called? The other day. I think.
I swear he played another.
There's only been 2 games. He'll play eventually. Basically, this is what I'm talking about, though, huh? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't think it's Santos.
Yeah. So like. Yeah. So like the Cole Palmer thing, I've been one of the people that's asking for the right wing thing. Like how people were saying after one game against Flamengo, where we changed the system, we changed the shape, we changed so much that people saying, oh, it doesn't work. But it's one game. Okay.
It's one game.
Exactly.
But I think
like, we need to see it.
I think it's just a style of play. It's not beneficial to him.
Yeah, probably.
But that's a different conversation. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's one of those things you have to try, because then once you have tried it a few times and you know it doesn't work, okay, we don't have to try it again. It's like, literally, I go back to it, the Reece James thing. Okay, we know that it's been. I thought he was pretty good last season, but it wasn't a complete it wasn't a incredible performance playing in midfield. We've now got the depth. We don't ever need to see that again, because that was something you had to do in the moment because of reasons.
We need more right back too.
Nah, chat, you crack me up sometimes. Own goal.
That's why I feel like
Enzo. It's not Enzo versus Santos.
By the way, egregious comment. By the way, sorry, Chris. Egregious Monk's comment, by the way, is why I think he can't, like, whether he gets the same remains to be seen. But I think he can get close, because he did get 10 goals and 4 assists in a team that like finished 7th in their league, was not expected to do much. Like, he could potentially, like, I could easily see him getting, let's say, 15 and 8. That's 23 GNA in this team.
I wanted to point this out too, because I'm sorry, Chris. In regards to the Enzo Fernandez thing with DHL, you know, calling or pretending like I'm not pretending. I'm watching football with my eyes. And last season, if we had better attackers, we're not having any conversations about Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez created so many chances last season, and he was robbed of so many potential assists. If you put Enzo Fernandez in the Real Madrid side and the Real Madrid attack, or you know what? Let's just say we had Real Madrid's attack at Chelsea last season. Guarantee you, Enzo Fernandez has 20 assists. Plus 20 assists from the amount of chances he created. So I don't even think last season he was horrible, but because the GNA wasn't there, people were demanding and asking, is the same thing that happened to Kovacic? Is the same thing that happened to Jorginho? No one talked about that way about Conte because Conte was just so good at robbing the ball and all that stuff. But we always ask GNA of our midfielders when it shouldn't be that way. We should be demanding GNA of our wingers and our attackers, which I agreed with last season. But now Enzo Fernandez is getting the GNA. And even this season, he created multiple chances that weren't put away. So it's, again, I'm not pretending he had a purple patch. No, I feel like he learned how to, crash the box. He took advantage of that, and he scored chances. But I still think he had a decent season last season. It was
I was gonna say, like,
the beginning of the season was horrible.
The purple patch thing is weird. Like you can't be good for 2/3 of a season, and this is coming from someone. By the way, I've been critical of him this season at parts because my whole thing with Enzo has always been the rhetoric about him from fans, like it, because unfortunately, as is the want with our fan base, and I've been guilty of this at times, like not necessarily with Enzo, but just with other players, is there is always a level of hyperbole given where it's like they're either the best player in the world, like Enzo Fernandez is either flawless, like has no faults, or he's crap. It's like, no, like he's a very good player at certain things. Like like his ability in terms of passing, like the thing he's improved on, like the box crashing stuff, him improving on that, phenomenal. But he does have faults. Like the defensive work is a fault. Like he is, like people can use stats. And
he's
shit,
bad defensively. We saw that last season.
Not even necessarily bad, but he's not great. Like it's definitely his weakest attribute.
Yeah.
And I think we're at the point where we can say, I don't think he's a £100 million midfielder. That's fine. Because I think he's an £80 midfielder or a £75 million midfielder. Like, and that's absolutely fine. That is what it is. And that's where I stand with Enzo. And like, as I was going to say with him, like, it was not a purple patch last season. You can't be good for 2/3 of a season and that be a purple patch. That's stupid.
I'm saying. But it is
what
it is.
That's kind of where I stand with it.
Yeah, no, I think we delve pretty deep on the Santos situation. I think there's a lot of scenarios it could be. I don't think any of us are coming to conclusions yet, but I think where we all agree is that we're upset we still haven't seen Santos play. We do want to see the player play, Just like I was pretty happy to see Asugo play some minutes. I want to see Santos play some minutes. Mamadou Sarr, I mean, I don't really care. I was not really hyped up on the player even when I saw him at Santos.
Back, like I said.
So I'm thinking like, okay, if he comes on, he comes on. Whatever. Like we'll see him play eventually at some point. But and Scott's not gonna like this, but I want to see Penders play too. I want to see where he is.
No, I'll be honest. After watching Sanchez yesterday, let him play. This guy, we haven't even talked about.
What about Petrovic?
Yeah,
bro, we ain't gonna see Petrovic play, bro. Come on.
Why?
No, Chris, if I talk about Petrovic, I'll get angry. So let's not talk about Petrovic.
You haven't been here the last 2 weeks. Petrovic isn't even at the Club World Cup right now.
You're getting sold.
I know, man. I know, but didn't he that was his decision though? Because like obviously.
No, I'm not believing the fucking bullshit PR that the club wants to spew out.
That's kind of crazy because like they have Sanchez, who's just I don't want to say that. I said it he's shit.
Yeah,
like,
but no,
we saw the game he just played. He was
directly responsible, by the way. Him and Gusto directly responsible for the first goal we conceded.
Yeah.
In the last game.
His passing ability is just terrible.
Maybe.
Or do you know what made it worse, by the way, is the goalkeeper from the other team. Like when you saw the passes he was making, like there was one where he made it like first time. It was first time under pressure.
Their passing has been phenomenal. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, it was first time under pressure. Like
the way they play in Flamengo.
It was not like the one I'm thinking about. It was first time under pressure. Balls come back to him at pace. He hits it with enough pace that the guy he was passing it to goes straight to him, but he's able to take a touch and get out of his feet perfectly. It was like, okay, bro, I've got that. Like, sorry, you've got that. And I've got Sanchez. To go back to what you said, Marshall, after watching that waste of space, that stupid bald prick, play Penders. He can't be worse. I don't care that he's played 11 games.
We got him, boys. We got him.
Sanchez, he is genuinely the worst keeper we've ever had at this football club, and we got to
get Maignan for 20 million.
Marshall, I mean this with all feeling in my heart.
Shake Shack Curry Pirate.
outside of like what's it called? Off the pitch stuff. When it comes to footballing stuff, I've never wished injury on a player to my knowledge that I can remember. Outside of him, when he went down against Flamengo, I actively cheered. I prayed. I thanked the Lord when he went down injured.
I thought he might be out as well.
I hope he does a double ACL. Like I genuinely hope he breaks every.
Double ACL.
No, I need it.
Man
bro.
says, I hope you do the Militao.
Yeah, thanks. I genuinely, I hope he.
Wait, Militao did a double ACL
Yes.
in the same time.
Not at the same time, but
he
did one, then he did the other.
I think is that possible?
Yeah, I think he did both knees as well. Like we can only hope.
Oh, both sides as well.
Yeah, we can only hope, bro. Like ACL and MCL.
I'm like 6 months into my recovery. Like,
ladies and gents, if you want to see Penders play over Sanchez, smash up the like button. I promise you, it'll happen eventually. You know what's crazy too? I'm glad you've come around because I was on this in December. I was like, fuck it. Just give me Penders. He must be better than Sanchez.
Yeah,
but you were on my neck about it.
Was I? I apologize. I genuinely apologize.
It's okay. And listen, you didn't rate Penders then. Like, you still don't have to rate Penders now.
No,
but
I still don't rate Penders in terms of I don't think he's ready to play, but I can't watch.
But he must be better than Sanchez.
If we go next season with Sanchez.
You know what, Marshall? Even if he's as bad, right? Even if he's as bad, at least he's 19.
Exactly.
He can learn.
At least he's learning on the job, you know? At least, there's room to improve. Sanchez is he will never improve. This is him. This is final form Sanchez. He is 29.
He's 29. No, it can't be. Making that mistakes at age 29.
Oh, you know, my apologies. He's 27, but he's never going to be any better than he is now.
He's not getting better. No, he's
I don't know why I thought he was 29.
You know what's great though, because Chris mentioned it, and we're talking about goalkeepers. This pissed me off today. I'll be honest. Like, I am with you guys on this one for sure. Maignan Briefs.
What happened?
Lo, you think we're getting Maignan? Lo.
Wait, why?
This needs to stop. I got you, Chris. I got you. This needs to stop.
I don't get why we can't get him. Like, it's 20 million. We'll just know Petrovic for how much.
Chris, let's try to understand.
Chris, what you don't understand is the club only value him at 12.
Like, they valued Kelly. I know Kellyman's younger, but like
19 million. Yes, they did. It's fine because that was PSR things, and we had to get buddy with Aston Villa because that worked out well for us.
That reminds me. Actually, I was right. By the way, here, check it out.
Hey, we paid.
It's Give Me Sport, so take it with a pinch of salt. But Aston Villa are ready to enter discussions to try to tempt Nicholas.
I'm pretty sure Give Me Sport is Ben Jacobs.
Is he? Okay. Unai Emery, I mean, it does kind of make a little sense if Villa want Jackson. So to whoever said it in the chat, why would Villa want Jackson, or what top side is going for Jackson? Well, apparently Aston Villa are. So suck on that.
Of course, he's not exactly dog.
He's not shit. He's a decent player. He could be a great player. Not reliable.
He could, he'd be good competition for Watkins easily.
Yeah, I still think Watkins gets in.
And they don't technically have a.
No, he gets.
They don't have a backup currently.
And honestly, Watkins might be on his way out. To be honest.
And I'm not even if it is it could be for Rodgers. Like, we could do a swap and we pay him a little bit of money.
Oh please, please! I need it to happen.
That's what could happen realistically, and it'd be a nice, easy, straight transfer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But okay, so let's read about these Maignan briefs that everyone's losing their minds over. I get it. Like, it's frustrating now. It's ridiculous because I'm at a point now, guys, and I'll read this tweet before I actually give my take. Chelsea, in the last 24 to 48 hours, have started thinking about goalkeeper again. They're mulling over different options and thinking what's best thing to do. 4:10 p.m., June 21st. 4:22 p.m., June 21st. Chelsea have not reactivated Mike Maignan as goalkeeper option in the recent hours and days and are not planning to do so later in the window. Talks with AC Milan and agents are off since 12 days ago as Chelsea maintain their confidence in goalkeepers they have.
Yeah.
4:22. literally 12 minutes later. You can't make this up, guys.
Wait.
You literally can't make this up. Chris, look at the time.
Yeah, I just clocked it. Okay.
We're still mulling over different options. Okay.
What
we haven't actually reactivated any interest. Let me continue on. As things stand, there is only a small chance Chelsea will sign another goalkeeper in the summer. They have 4 goalkeepers: Sanchez, Jorgensen, Petrovic, and Penders. Only one will go on loan to Strasbourg. The other will be sold. So, okay, hold on. Chelsea have not closed the chapter on Maignan and are now planning to make another move for the Club World Cup. Chelsea already agreed personal terms with Maignan on a 6-year contract worth around $8.5 million a year. I think that's everything. Oh, here we go. Fabrizio, at the moment, Maignan deal is completely off. It is not advancing. It is not progressing. It is not being reactivated. At the moment, the situation is really quiet. Let's see what is going to happen with the player in the next weeks and months. Let's see what's going to happen also in terms of the Maignan decision to on the contract extension of the player. I think that's everything on Maignan.
Is that everything on Maignan?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I cannot wait. It's going to hit like it's going to hit like the purest form of heroin when we sign Trafford on deadline day.
Don't say that. Don't pull in the air, please. Like, this guy is 20 million, who's a real, like, you know, a leader, experienced, one of the best, good on his feet, what Maresca likes, and you got to tell me Trafford is going to be the same price or whatever.
Yes, Chris. What I forgot to mention. Sorry, Chris. What I forgot to mention. There was a little caveat I didn't include on. It's going to hit like the purest form of heroin when we sign Trafford on deadline day for 30 million, and he's the backup goalkeeper. And he's the backup goalkeeper to Sanchez. Sanchez number 1 again, baby.
How old is Trafford
when you invite girls in your place? You get a takeaway, you get a non-doors.
I can't wait, man. It's gonna. I'll tell you what, Marshall. I don't know if we're gonna talk, bro. We've seen the Gittens news as well, by the way. Hey, when Gittens leaves and it's Garnacho season, bro. Garnacho and Trafford is the signing. Inject it.
I might need to start looking at what options got.
Bro, I can't wait. It's gonna be incredible.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't know, man. We might have to start going on that type of stuff if Sanchez is our number 1.
RSM said it earlier today, bro. Like, that's gonna happen, and I'm gonna spend the entire season pouring bleach into my hair every day.
Something needs to. Nah, I don't know. I don't know what to.
I will say this: Trafford is an upgrade on Sanchez. That's about
I
it.
don't fuck off, bro. My nan is an upgrade on. No, not my nan. As in, my actual nan is an upgrade on Sanchez in goal.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Is she on a free?
Chris, you're a goalkeeper, aren't you?
I used to be. Then I went out for
Chris is an upgrade on Sanchez.
Chris with his ACL recovery right now is an upgrade on Sanchez.
His ACL injury is just an upgrade on
I do the simplest thing in goal as well. I just boot it forward.
What a dead game. Salzburg and Hilal.
Did it end 0-0?
Yeah, it was 0-0. This is not a good 0-0. Not a good 0-0.
Salzburg got dominated by Pachuca, I think, and then in the first half at least.
Koulibaly masterclass. Sign him back.
No.
I'd rather. Give me Kepa back.
Fuck off.
No.
We sold him. We sold him for $5 million to
get him done. Yeah. He's done. He's gone to Arsenal.
We should never sold him, man. We should have sold Sanchez.
Bro, we should sell both of them.
I mean, yeah, you're right, but
we should keep the guy that was the best player for Strasbourg last season. That was arguably the best goalkeeper in League One. But no,
I don't know if I can take it.
But
I feel bad for Maresca because like Sanchez is not the keeper for Maresca in his style of play. Like, he likes a goalkeeper who's good on his feet, and Sanchez is just not that. He is terrible with his feet. He's one of the worst I've seen on his feet. Like, I know Man United fans said they want to get rid of Onana. I would swap Onana. At least I know he's got to be good on his feet. And he has made less mistakes than Sanchez. You think?
He actually might be the only goalkeeper.
It's really a debate for that one because his saving ability can be very shocking at times. His free kicks as well. Oh my god, his free kicks are bad.
Wait, who?
When he tries to save one.
No.
I was thinking about Onana.
No. I was like, are you talking about Maignan?
I don't want. This is what, the 3rd season with Sanchez?
Yeah.
I can't take
Unfortunately.
it. Like, people say we need a new striker. No, we need to get rid of his keeper first. That is
Yes.
the one thing we need to get rid of. Like, I know. Like, I want another striker, but like, I can't take Sanchez. Like, he's gonna cost more mistakes. He's gonna be bad on the ball. He ain't gonna improve because he's like 27, 28. He's retarded on. Yeah, like, he's bad on that ball. So I stopped myself.
It's fine. It's been said multiple times.
I've said it multiple times this game.
Wait, listen, sometimes this chat riles you up. It just comes out, man.
Oh no, it's not the chat. Like, it's just I'm thinking of Sanchez, man. I'm thinking if we get Trafford as well, no Mike Maignan.
No, it has to happen. It has to happen. It has to. For the good of the sport. I hate. I can't even tell myself serious. Do you know what's annoying, by the way? And I've said this.
I want these owners or the directors. Why does Mike Maignan not tick the boxes for you to sign him? What does he not bring? What does he not bring?
Because he's only worth 12 million. Because he's an
Why is he worth 12 million?
Sanchez
This is
better,
like
right?
the penny pinching I'm talking about. Like, I don't care if they don't want to pay the 25. That's fine. You definitely got an offer that was less than 25 that you just don't want to negotiate with that one. You are dead set on getting him for 12 or whatever that you're willing to do. Like, there's not even wiggle room. Like, you could go up to 17, you could go up to 18, you could go up to 20. I'm sure Milan will bite. But no, you're stuck on 12. Yeah, you Chris, it's like, yeah, you get it, man. That's how I feel. Listen, the one thing I don't like about this, I can't trust Fabrizio anymore. I genuinely can't trust Fabrizio anymore.
Using his points of view.
Like, he's literally just become a tap-in merchant.
He became like.
You trusted him anyway?
No, like at one point he was pretty decently reliable. Like last season, definitely hurt his image, right? The last summer transfer window where he got a few things wrong.
No, I'll be like, sorry, maybe apologies for interrupting. Maybe I should have been a bit more clear. When it comes to anything that's not Chelsea, he's really reliable. When it comes to Chelsea, like, it's the same bullshit that we have seen for 3 years.
Because you know what I think happened? I think because there is the possibility that Chelsea are still negotiating for Maignan, because I'm not buying this. You're happy with your 4 keepers. Okay, if you were happy with your 4 keepers, then why are you trying to sell Petrovic? And why is Petrovic potentially trying to be sold? And then there's a keeper that's trying to be sent to loan, which might be Penders, right? And then I've heard rumors that you are trying to sell Sanchez. So, okay, so if you're happy with the 4 keepers, why are we trying to sell him? And if you were happy with your 4 keepers, why were you in for Maignan to begin with? So all that being said, all that being said, I do think there is still interest for Maignan. I do think there is still interest for Trafford, but maybe they didn't want it to be put out in public. Maybe. That's what I think. But still, even then, like,
it's like the comment said,
I can't trust them.
We have 300 million like PSR rules or whatever leeway, and we can't spend like 20 million on a goalkeeper.
No, because
like what are we using this money for? To buy people at Trafford? Like, what does Trafford show over Mike Maignan?
I did say this.
No, Chris, I'll tell you what he shows. I tell you what he shows. He's ex-Manchester City. There you go. That's all you need to know. I'm not even joking, by the way. That's literally it. There you go.
Yeah, no, he's the allegations will never die if we get him.
The secret has been revealed.
That's all it is. Like that's what we're trying to do.
Bro. I don't disagree with Ha on this one either.
If we get Sanchez and Trafford, we're just doomed, aren't we? I mean, we are pretty much there, but like we're just.
Again, like I said, I would take my actual nan or Chris with an ACL over Sanchez. He's not the bar. I want Trafford anywhere near this football club. Like, I thought that was.
Plus, the Trafford links have been really quiet. I
hope they're fake.
Well, the only reason
they're not doing it in silence. Yeah.
My only thing with like they have gone a bit silent, but so have the Trafford and Newcastle thing. Like, the last I heard is then, because obviously they agreed a deal in January, or like just before, like just after January closed, I think, or whatever it was. But that seems to have quieted down to the point where, like, I saw something the other day where they still haven't fully agreed on everything. Because I think what's it called? Burnley and Barcelona. I think Burnley are asking for more than original. So that may fall through. So if that falls through, Chelsea have got just a free run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see. There is still the chance that Maignan gets done. Maybe. I'm not hopeful on it. I'm just saying there is still a chance. I don't think it's going to happen, but the whole Fabrizio thing right now, it could be that he walked it back after he was told by the club to take it back or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Because at the same time, like, maybe it's also a negotiating tactic between, Milan and Chelsea. Chelsea want to pretend that they're happy with their 4 goalkeepers. When the reality is, and I think Milan can see right through it, like, no, you're trying to sell your fucking goalkeepers. We're seeing everything coming out about Petrovic. We know the season you had with Robert Sanchez. But who are pretending,
That idea, because I don't necessarily disagree. I just wonder how successful it's going to be, because, like,
I don't think it's going to be successful.
I don't know if Milan are going to see that and go, oh shit, they're really not interested in our goalkeeper. We have to sell him for as cheap as possible. Like, no, I just think they're going to do the same as they have done. Like, obviously, I don't know. I'm not in the Aston Villa, the AC Milan board meetings and shit. But there's a part of me that does wonder with, like, the money they're getting elsewhere, because the Hernandez to Al Hilal deal was still on. I saw a tweet from Fabrizio about it. They're having new talks in terms of them and the
United.
No, Al Hilal and Hernandez.
It wouldn't surprise me if another club looks at Mike Maignan as well, seeing that price.
Okay.
Like those talks are still ongoing. The club Al Hilal are having new talks with Hernandez today, because, like, the deal's all agreed. So it's just Hernandez that said no. So, like, they're having new talks today, so that can still happen. So that'll be a cool 30 million euros in their bank account. They've already sold Reinders for 47. Obviously the Musa thing has fallen through for the moment, but that may go through. I don't know. Who else are they selling?
Were we linked to Emi Martinez recently?
Briefly,
I don't want him no more.
I don't know.
He's just losing it.
I still take him over Sanchez, Chris.
Oh no, yeah. Like, but I feel like they'd ask 50 million or something for the price now.
Okay, why not?
And we got Mike Maignan for 20. Like,
we actually paid 50 for Emi, which I don't. Listen,
I wouldn't.
I don't think it's a bad price for Emi Martinez. That's how much I still expect Maignan to be like 80 mil. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it came out, he was 25. I was like, bro, that is a fucking steal.
How old is it?
Emi's like 20. Yeah, Maignan's 29. Emi's like 29, I think, as well, 30. I think I could be wrong. But yeah, so, like, my point I was going to make with that is, there is a part of me, and I know this isn't good business in terms of, obviously you want to try and get some money from him. There is still part of me where, like, I could legislate to, like, Milan wanting, like, keeping him, just he ends up going on a free. Like I said, I don't know if they will do that, because at the end of the day, it is not great business. Like, especially if things don't go well. Now, I think they can go well for them. If Allegri actually manages to pull his finger out and motivate the team, then I think they potentially can. But who knows? But I don't know. Like, it depends on what's more important to AC Milan. Because, like, if they finish, I think I looked. I think if it's 4th or 3rd, they make the same 25 mil from finishing in the Champions League.
Yeah.
In the league, so, like, they make the money they would have made on him finishing there. So
I'm surprised, man. I don't look at him either.
That is the other issue as well. Is obviously the longer we leave it, and I don't know if any other club will come. Yeah, like, I don't know if any other club will come, but the longer we leave it, there is more chance of other clubs coming in.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
we've already seen
the idea that Mike wants Chelsea. I think Mike wants out of AC Milan.
Yeah, I think Mike wants out of AC Milan and playing for a club that's playing Champions League. Like, at the end of the day, like, if United come in, yes, they're not playing Champions League, but if they can offer him good money, which they will, it's Man United, and they love just spending copious amounts of money. Copious amounts of money on wages, then they might just pay him exorbitant wages to make up for the fact they're not in Champions League. Then yeah, like, it might be a sticky one, but yeah, well, at the moment we've got to hope that no other club comes in, which isn't great, but it's the only thing we've got to hope on at the moment. Yeah. Because if another club does come in, then we might be fucked. I mean, you look at the Gittens situation, for example. Like, we may have fumbled it on Gittens, who
now Bayern is in the picture.
Yeah, and the thing is, with the whole Gittens thing, just moving to that slightly, I don't care as much.
In general, I have it here.
Sure, I mean, like, I don't care as much because I don't rate him, but I have an issue in terms of the way this club moves, and this is kind of the highlight of it in terms of you don't want to play the Club World Cup tax. Cool, this non-existent tax that people want to keep talking about. And you're going to probably end up, if you buy him, going to spend the same amount of money in terms of 55, 60 million euros.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want to get it done before the Club World Cup, cool. You've now pussyfooted around. This is a deal that apparently you've been like,
ludicrous.
Has been on the books. You've been working on backstage, doing important groundwork, all these buzzwords, for 6 months, since January. Still not done, and you might now lose out to a bigger team because you fucked around. And now a team that needs a winger because they've just sold sold. They've just got rid of one on a free transfer. They're looking to get rid of another in Coman. That leaves them with 2 wingers, I think. Elise and Napoli. And then maybe Musiala, depending on if he plays in the wing or whatever. But so they need another winger, so they're going to get him. And it's like you just pratted around again. I don't necessarily care about. It's not focusing on him as the player, but it's more just the situation. Like you wasted time again. Same thing you did with Caicedo. Literally the same thing. The only difference was Caicedo was actually loyal to the club in terms of like stuck with the deal he'd agreed. Which big up to Caicedo. Thank fuck he did that. Because again, you pussyfooted around and you waited an entire window, and instead of trying to get stuff done early, you decided to try and negotiate in inverted commas, when in actual fact you haven't negotiated shit because you're just going to pay the price that they wanted. And yeah, you wasted time. And now other teams are interested. And my worry is like, if the thing with Maignan happens, because at least with the Gittens thing, it's like that's potentially a harder deal to work out because of the price and stuff like that, and also because of the fact we have done groundwork to an extent in terms of we have agreed a deal at least. I know we've done the same with Maignan, but I don't know if there's like, I don't know if there's going to be the same connection. Because obviously, at least with Gittens, you've got the Maresca stuff and the Shield stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, I just hope with the Maignan thing we don't make that same mistake. Because my thing is like this idea I've seen people as well go, oh, we can just release him, like we can just get him next year when his contract is on a free. Cool. Let's go see him out of clubs that are going to be interested in him in that moment. Because next summer, Bayern will need a new keeper if they decide to part ways with Neuer, because Neuer's on his last year. PSG, if Donnarumma leaves, will need a new keeper. He's a former PSG academy product, is Mike Maignan. So he could go there. If Man United decide they're fucking sick of Onana, he could go there. There are other places he could go.
Man City, potentially even.
Ederson's on his way out. Ederson's been linked with leaving before, obviously. He didn't go to Saudi. I don't think there's any links at the moment. But like,
I don't think he really likes Ortega that much.
There's potentially other places to go. And if he's going on a free, it's going to be a lot more easier and it's going to be a lot more beneficial for these clubs to go in for him because they can give him more wages and they don't have to pay a transfer fee. They just have to pay the signing on bonus and that's it. And
so Aya N, saying it like it is, the most realistic take of this whole entire show is the fact that you guys aren't smashing the like button enough. So smash up the like button if you're in here, chat. Let's get those likes up. We're over 50, so thank you for that. And yeah, listen, we're going into 3 hours now. We got maybe 2 more this topic and another topic left. So yeah, please smash up the like buttons because it helps us out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And I know you guys are enjoying the show, so that's why you're still here. Over 100 of you still here. So that must mean something. You don't hate it. You're not clicking off. So smash up the like button. It helps us out tremendously. But yeah, in regards to Gittens, building off of what Scott just said here, let's read some tweets. As said before, Jamie Gittens has agreed a 7-year deal with Chelsea. Chelsea keep working in advance on this deal. He's the priority. Pardon me. Chelsea and Dortmund are still working club to club to find an agreement for Jamie Gittens. Chelsea and Bayern are battling for the transfer of Jamie Gittens, according to CF Bayern here. And then Tazlovic also saying here, Bayern Munich has contacted Jamie Gittens' entourage as well as Dortmund to talk forward. He's an alternative to Williams. They also have asked about Barcola. Munich is not alone. Chelsea has already sent several offers to Dortmund. So now Bayern are involved in it. Listen, I think the player is a good player. you know, don't be yo, this purple patch thing is not gonna die, so that's that'll be a next emoji for sure. Don't be a purple patch viewer, like the stream. Yeah, exactly. Let's have more consistency on the likes. But in terms of Gittens, do I think he's like a world-class, top-class, ready-made to go? No. I do think there may be one or two left wingers better. But I don't think he's bad. I don't even think he's okay. I think he's actually pretty good. Especially seeing him live for a moment when he came on against Fluminense. I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was being really creative, and he was being used as a cam more so than a left winger. So I was actually kind of impressed. However, I agree. I think Malik Fofana is my number one choice, but I've not seen any progress on that since it was announced that we were interested in him. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get my hopes up, because this team, like Scott said, is we like to pussyfoot around until it's too late, until another team is interested.
Thank you, Sean. You actually.
What? In terms of like, you know, who's to say now all of a sudden Bayern are going to be interested in Malik Fofana. They're looking for a left winger, so we'll see what's gonna happen with this situation. But I think Gittens is fine. I don't want to pay more than the 50, to be honest. I don't think he's worth more than 50. But then again, with a left wing market is so deprived, and this, I don't want to reiterate, but this goes back to the fact that we should have had this done before the window even opened, before the first window even opened. They were interested in this player since January. That's how early onset we heard of him. Actually, even before that, there was rumors and inklings back in November, if we got to be really honest about Jamie Gittens. So the fact that we've known we wanted the player for this long and is still pussyfooting around, it's just ridiculous from when Stanley and Lawrence Stewart. So
it's pretty standard.
Yeah. What happened?
I said it's pretty standard. And honestly, like, the more I think about the whole Gittens thing, I'm of the mindset, like, these sporting directors and these owners, they have to learn, right? If they're not going to understand, like there comes points where they have to learn, right?
Yeah.
And so there's certain things they haven't learned so far. Like, one of the things I want these owners to learn is these sporting directors are shit. I don't think that's going to happen unless we have a catastrophically bad season, which I do not want us to have, because I can't. I don't think we as a fan, but well, I don't think the majority of us as fans deserve that in terms of watching a shit season, because I'm talking it have to be worse than the season we were 12, I think. And even then, I think I don't even know if they get sacked. I think that would be the manager. I don't know what point they're required to get sacked, but I think it would have to be something catastrophically bad, like a Man United season this season, which, like, we as a majority of fan base, we don't deserve. Like, we had our suffering back then, like, and I'll be real, when I talked about the suffering thing, it was with the mindset of like if me in current day, I'd go and tell myself back then to go and shut up, because I now know what's coming. I think at the time, I didn't know what was coming in terms of these owners and the direction they were going, the stupid bullshit they were going to be on. So I probably would have told myself to shut up. So most of us don't deserve to suffer, and unfortunately, there are some people that do deserve to suffer in the signings, like Garnacho and Trafford and people like that, and Hoylands and those players of the world, because they're the guys I talked about earlier, the window lickers, the room temperature IQ people who want to defend everything. This is what these owners and sporting directors do to a fault. But so my point in this is, like, one of the things they need to learn as well is that you cannot, it's okay to take time on some things, but you can't be doing this every single year. So I do think
on key
like
positions on that too.
100%. So considering it's a player I'm not too bothered about if we miss, and there are other options in terms of like a Fofana, there's a large part of me, I think it would maybe be beneficial to us in the long run, potentially, if we miss out on him. If he goes Bayern, if they get this wrapped up in like a week and he goes Bayern, I think could be beneficial to us, because I'm hoping what it does, and maybe this is just hopium,
kicks him up the
wakes these sporting directors, gives them a kick up the arse and wakes these sporting directors something like, oh, we can't pussyfoot around on every transfer. We got lucky with Caicedo because he said yes, but we've just lost someone because we waited too long and now he's gone there. Like, hopefully that's what it does.
Hey, hopefully what I'm about to say does this too as well. I think that's a lot of hopium, Scott. They fumbled previous deals before. I think, and they haven't learned. So I think that's you're
Have
on
they
that
though?
hopium, bro. Coming
Have
from
they
me, you're
were,
on that
like-
hopium.
Like when you say they fumbled on those deals before, have they fumbled in a sense of like?
Elise
Just-
was definitely a fumble, and they tried to mask it as we were focused on Esteval.
No. Okay, the Elise one. When I don't know if Elise is the same type of thing, but I'm talking about like. I don't know, Elise is kind of the same thing, but it's also slightly different in terms of we just weren't offering the wages. Like he didn't agree a deal with us, right?
Mhm.
Whereas this one, we've agreed the deal with the player, we just can't get it done with the club. So I'm saying,
What
like,
about
and if the
Endrick?
player that you've had, like, and I know Elise was kind of similar. It is kind of similar, but like, there's got to be a
We
learning
were never
point. Like,
really
a lot of it-
negotiating with Endrick, right?
No, we were, but like a lot of it is hopium. I'll be honest. Like the more I'm
Yeah.
speaking, it is hopium. But I'm just hoping, as I said, that these guys can learn in terms of just like
Mm-hmm.
doing something, you know. And
Kind of tell, kind of, not really. Thinking
Yeah,
hindsight,
kind of, but,
kind of
like-
dodge a bullet with that one.
kind of, but like just doing that. Like if they miss out on this, okay, we can't pussyfoot around because like where I think it's slightly different to Elise is, like I said, we got the deal agreed with the player. We've been doing the groundwork for 6 months. Yes, for Elise, we had it for a year, but with this Gittens thing, we were so in the driver's seat. Like we couldn't be further in the driver's seat if we like. This is probably one of the biggest slam dunks in terms of. Even though I don't want him, this was a deal you could get done easily. If we lose it and it gets
Yeah.
done, as I said, within a week, if it takes a while for Bayern, they still get it done. Maybe it's a little bit less of an impact. But if it takes them like a week to get this done,
Mm-hmm.
that would be. I'm hoping that would be the shock to the system that these guys desperately need.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I just don't think the way I see it. I think all of it's based on results. I think our ownership. To an extent, I sort of believe this part. I think our ownership have started to detach themselves a little bit from the club and just letting Win Stanley and Lauren Stewart do everything now. The reason I'm hesitant is because it's Bali
Unfortunately.
we're talking about, and he does seem to have that micromanaging kind of personality. But as long as we're getting results, I don't think the ownership are going to do anything. And that's kind of where I was coming from in that angle of I kind of wish we didn't make top four, because if we keep moving negotiations like this, missing out on Malik Fofana, missing out on Leao, missing out on Gittens, missing out on Maignan, missing out on, you name the player, then nothing is going to change unless the results are bad. Which that you can't hide that. You can guise all these bad deals and people can forget about Osimhen's and the Elises if you're getting the results, which I think the owners are looking at the results. They're just looking at the football on the pitch and, hey, if they win, well, I don't know what you did, but you won. Cool. It didn't look that convincing, but who am I? I don't know anything. I don't watch this sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a bit of playing on that ignorance from the ownership that kind of gives them the leeway of like, well, if they're getting the results, then maybe they're doing something right that we don't know about. Even if the football looks shit on the pitch. But from time to time, that's not always that way. But yeah, it's that's kind of where I stand with that. But hey, maybe maybe Scott's right. Maybe that does happen. If we do miss out on Gittens, there's an opportunity to potentially get them to kind of be the kick in the ass that they need to get deals done quicker in the future. To end the show, ladies and gents, which I'm pretty sure we talked on all the topics. We talked on Santos, we talked on Maignan. The other big one I wanted to end on, and we spent a lot of time talking on other stuff, so it is what it is. But the other thing I want to end on, and the final one, which, guys, if you haven't done this already, smash up the like button, helps us tremendously, is Muani is back. Kolo Muani is back, ladies and gents. The one, the only, the player that I kept saying, hey guys, just try him out on a loan in January. It can't hurt. Well, now the goalpost has shifted with more information. Now we're seeing what's happening with Jackson. Now it's not looking like a bad shout. So here we go. Kolo Muani, guys. Kolo Muani. Chelsea have entered negotiations with PSG to sign Randall Kolo Muani this summer. And this is coming from L'Equipe, a pretty reliable source coming out of France. So, yeah. This is a sideways move for me in terms of for Jackson. So if it happens and we get rid of Jackson, cool, so be it. If it doesn't happen, we keep Jackson. I don't know how I feel about that, but give me a Jackson that isn't gonna get sent off or be a liability or constantly get, yellow carded and then get suspended and just has issues with, disciplinary issues. So that's kind of where I stand with this whole thing. But Kolo Muani is back, ladies and gents, and yeah, I think he'd be decent at Chelsea now at this point. I saw him today. He didn't look too shabby today. He wasn't as involved as Yildiz was, for example, but he was in there and he was getting himself. He created a chance for Yildiz, so he got an assist today. But yeah, I'm not gonna say Nkunku and Muani are in the same boat. I think
the only thing they have in
different
common is they're both French and black.
Yeah, that's about it. I don't think they're the same profile of player at all. So at this point, if it means getting rid of Jackson, bringing in Kolo Muani, so be it. I'm all for it. I'm for it now. And before, I just wanted a loan just as someone to compete with Jackson, similar profile, all this and that Ahmed was telling us here on the chat and all this shit. Now, cool, similar profile. Well, let's get rid of Jackson. This guy don't think has disciplinary issues as far as I'm aware, like Jackson does. Bring him in. Bring him in. Send Jackson the other direction and bring him in. That's
what we're saying. We should not be buying him.
You don't want to buy Muani?
No,
do like a trade kind of thing.
No. I do a loan. Like, unironically speaking, them loaning Kolo Muani would be, and getting rid of Jackson. Well, not necessarily getting rid of Jackson, but more getting in Kolo Muani on a loan would unironically be one of the, when it comes to squad building, be one of the smartest things this ownership group and these sporting directors have done. Unironically speaking.
Yeah.
Because
go ahead.
This is all based on what we've heard, right? Maurizio literally tweeted the other day about Omega, about the plan is to bring him in 2026.
Yeah,
that's your plan.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It makes, if the plan is to bring Omega in, and I honestly believe he'll be a flip anyway, but if the plan is to bring him into the squad next year, it makes no sense to sell Jackson and get a replacement unless the replacement you're getting is on loan. Because what are we going to do when Omega comes in? In fact, I know what we're going to do. But what we're going to do when Omega comes in and you just had a season of Delap and maybe Ekatike if you buy Ekatike for 60, not even that, let's say 70 million. I think I know what's happening and I think it's what happens anyway, which is Omega gets flipped for 50, 60. But at least with Kolo Muani, if you get him on loan, let's say you get him on loan with an option of 50, 60 million. You at least then you have a way of you have a plan in terms of, cool, Kolo Muani comes in, if he bangs, if he's the starting number 9 by the end of the season, he gets 18 to 20 league goals, cool, you pay the 50, 60 million, that's cool, you make that back by selling Omega after he hopefully has a good season, especially playing in Europe for Strasbourg, another good season I should say, especially playing in Europe. If he doesn't bang, that's fine, you send him back. You haven't really spent anything apart from maybe a loan fee, and you've only had to spend, let's say 25-30 is what I probably think they'll pay for Omega, 25-30 to bring Omega in, and now he's the backup. And hopefully he's had another good season. Like I said, still the same players, hopefully he's had a good season, another good season with Strasbourg, and he's in a position where he can contest with the lap. As I said, genuinely, unironically, that would be one of the smartest pieces of squad building that this ownership group and these sporting directors have done since they've been here. But as I've said, me saying that means they absolutely won't do that because they can't build this squad. Their squad building is shit.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that honestly when you put it that way, it does make sense.
Muani.
Like, loan would make the most sense for Muani.
Kolo Muani on loan.
Yeah, also I would agree with Scott on this one. I'm
not buying him. Like I said, I'm not buying Sesko either.
Mm-hmm.
I like if we're selling Jackson. Again, it just comes down to squad building, right? And I said I was going to stop doing this earlier on the stream. Do you know what? No, fuck it. Like I'm going to stop trying to just make sense of the squad building they're doing. Omega's probably getting sold anyway. Like if you're going to sell Jackson, just go and get a suitable backup to Delap, right? If you think that's João Pedro and you're actually going to play João Pedro as the backup striker, cool. If it's Ekatike and you want to get Ekatike and that's your guy, get him, cool. Doesn't really make sense with Omega coming in anyway, but who cares? Nothing you've done has made sense since you've been here. If you think Kolo Muani's the dude, get him. Do not fucking buy him though. Like, get him on loan. And just don't buy Sesko.
I think definitely don't buy Sesko. I don't rate that guy. But I think in terms of what you're saying, it makes the most sense, even from a financial point of view. Like, you're not stuck with the player. You get to see if he fits into the system. You get to see how he fits into the system. I do think he is of a similar profile as Jackson. But listen, at this point, like we were saying earlier, like Jackson is becoming a liability now. Like, you know, there's the yellow card accumulation, early onset, then the sending off in Newcastle in a time of need, and then this one where we're trying to be serious in this competition. At least I'm hoping Chelsea trying to be serious in this competition, immediately getting sent off as well. Like, listen, like, you can only forgive a player so many times. Like, at this point, it's almost like, who was the player that Jose was talking about getting sent off so he can have time off or something like that? I forgot what player he was speaking about, but you know what I'm talking about. It almost feels like you're doing this intentionally. It almost feels like you're doing it intentionally just to get some time off. Like, I'm exhausted from playing all the games we played and how intense the end of the season was. Like, I just want a break. Like, bro, come on. Like, it's just ridiculous. So, yeah. Was it Balotelli? Maybe it was Balotelli. Balotelli did it on purpose to get time off or something. But yeah, it's just like, I'm over it. I'm done with it. It's just frustrating. I can't have a player that's constantly, I have to worry about if he's going to put a foot up too high like that and nearly break the freaking Flamengo's player's leg. It's just insane. So yeah, I would do a loan for Kolo Muani, see how it works out. If he bangs, then cool. Obligation, or you activate a clause there to buy him, or you offer to buy him from PSG. And cool, we go from there. I mean, yeah, and then even then, like Omega, I think it's a good transition period for Omega. Omega comes in, maybe he plays back up to Delap. If Delap, steps up and he ends up being a starter.
Honest, at the end of the day, if we sell Jackson, whatever striker we buy is playing back up to Delap. So take your pick, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pick your poison at that point. But all right, guys. We're going to go ahead and call it here. Scott, thanks for sticking around. Everyone in chat, thanks for sticking around. Listen, it was rough waters in the beginning. I can't lie. Sometimes chat may be good. Sometimes chat may be shit. But to be honest, with me as a panelist, sometimes the panel sometimes may be good. Most times may be good. But sometimes may be shit. So it goes both ways. But big up to chat for sticking around as well. Smash the like button if you haven't done so already. We're going to raid out to Sarcasm City. He's doing a watch along for the NBA Finals. So if you like NBA and all that fun stuff, definitely Purple Patches FC. That's us. But definitely go ahead and check it out. I'm sure it'll be a fun final. There is another Club World Cup game tonight, and it's Man City versus Al Ain.
We will not be
there. I will be there. Scott will not be there. Scott will be asleep, but I will be awake to watch it. But yeah, ladies and gents, we'll see you again Wednesday, I believe. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do on Wednesday, but I'm going to do something on Wednesday.
Are you not going to... Oh, no, yeah, you're going to have to do some... Well, are you going to do a review for the game?
Wednesday's going to... Thank you, Scott. Wednesday's going to be a review of the game.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a review
I
of
was
the day.
about to say, originally what I was going to say is that you're not going to do it on Tuesday, and then remembered it's 2 in the morning UK time.
2 in the morning UK time.
I will not.
Yeah.
I will absolutely not be there. I'm going to watch the game and then go to bed. That's what I'm going to do.
It might be a double day, to be honest. It might be a day where I upload the vlog because I'm gonna vlog that day too. And it'll also be a day where we do stream a live review the day after, just because I know for some people in the UK that watch this channel, it is very, very late. And some of you won't be here to watch it. So we'll do a reaction to that game the Wednesday, and then Thursday will be a Casually Chelsea show. So yeah, that's right. Thank you. I appreciate it. 4 a.m. crash out. I don't want that at all. Yeah, then you won't be able to sleep.
I've literally got work in 8.5 hours at that point. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, no. We'll do 10 UK time reaction to the game on Wednesday. So yeah. Big up to every single one of you for watching. Copy and paste the red message. Let Sarcasm City know where you're coming from. And then we'll catch you on Wednesday to react to the Tunis game, where hopefully Andre Santos gets to play some minutes. All right. Big up to every single one of you. Have a wonderful night. Stay casual and peace.